I never had the chance to run, leave behind the said and done, figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for, gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe, and I guess I could be stronger now, and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now, and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. Been trying hard not to go out of my mind, and all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can
do decay more slowly than stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature.
wait. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now, pick up body till we black out. So get the fuck up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to what is a very, very wet Monza. We're in Italy and the weather is not the kindest, let me tell you that one. Rain around and potential thunderstorms for later on. It is wet. I'm Matthew Duffin, as always, here on your Wednesday night, joined in the commentary box by my partner in crime in the Pro-Am. It's that buzzy boy Liam. Liam, how are you?
I'm good, Matthew. How are you today?
Very good, thank you. Liam, we're looking forward to this one. It's wet out there. It's going to be an interesting race.
Yeah, it's always an interesting race when there's a bit of, as I'm going to say, horrible weathering. But yeah, it's going to be hopefully some good racing tonight, and who knows who could finish this race on the top step of the podium.
Indeed, it's going to be an interesting one to keep our eyes on. Who will be on that podium? Not just the top step, but the podium nonetheless. The last time we saw rain, Smithy got himself his first ever podium in sim racing, as there is Argent going straight on at turn 2. And Liam, Monza, very historic track. We see it in the F1, we see it in the endurance racing. It was in the DTM not long ago. It's a very well-known track, this one. The guys have got to be on it, haven't they?
Yes, they do, and like with any track, they need to be on it. But for the history of this track, and obviously of it being what it is, they need to be on it even more. And in fact, even more on the fact that it's the final round of the season. Yeah, the final 2 races tonight of Season 3 coming to an end. Season 4 will be starting at the beginning of September, where we could possibly have an AM class on a Wednesday night, as well as the Pro-Am and the Pro. We're here, though, at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza in Italy, half an hour outside of Milan. A capacity of 118,000 spectators. First opened on the 3rd of September 1922. An FIA Grade 1 circuit here. And I tell you what, the major events that are hosted at this venue, the Formula 1, the FIA World Endurance Championship, the 6-hour Le Mans, the DTM, a lot of things go on here. It's a 3.6 mile circuit, or in kilometres, 5.793 kilometres, and 11 corners, going mainly chicanes until you get to the 2 tricky Lesmos and the Parabolica, the famous Ascari chicane as well. It's going to be, though, an interesting one, Liam, here. We always see at turn 1 at Monza, they always build up the turn 1 off the start line, not even in the wet, just in any race in general, don't they, of are they going to make it in cleanly? We know how tight the first chicane is. It's a bit more dangerous in the wet, as there we see Dean Wasocki returning to track and losing that rear end, so not as gentle on the throttle as he'd have wanted. No, but yeah, it is going to be a very good race today, and like you say, obviously, who knows who's going to be on the podium steps today.
Indeed, that is the case then. So we're here in Milan, half an hour outside of Milan. The weather is horrible, but we've got an absolute cracking end to the season at this lovely, lovely circuit. Fiori then has wrapped up the title and did so a couple of weeks ago back at Laguna Seca. He wrapped up the championship. He is, though, still going for something tonight, isn't he, Liam? He's still going for that record 13th win in a season. He's equalled Jamie Brazier. He now needs to beat Jamie Brazier, and I'm sure that when he had that chance last week at Dubai before Kieran beat him, he'd have really wanted to do it in good conditions. These conditions, however, your money's not on Fiori, is it? Your money's on anybody who can survive. So has he missed his opportunity to break Jamie's record, do we think?
I don't think so. We all know Fiori's on his day, he can be quick, and today could be his day, you never know. But with this horrible weathering, who knows?
It's going to be all or nothing for Fiori. And so he leads the way on 459 points, with KLF 900 then in second place on 317. BT Targa on 265 points in third place, ahead of Xmart, who returns tonight. And it's brilliant to see Xmart out there on the track. As we know, daughter and family been through a tough time as of late, as a surgery on Martin's daughter, whose birthday it was last Wednesday. And so I've been told from Martin this week especially, she is making a good recovery, and I think he will be in with us a little later on, podium or not. I think Martin will be in with us at the end of the night to just say a few words to the Simplay community. And for the guys watching, as Dean is a bit all over the place there and Alfie ends up cutting the chicane, but we just want to say it's good to hear that Martin's daughter is making a good recovery. Then Mickey then is P4 on 250 points. For then it's Argent on 246. So game slow for Argent to gain a few places here. Daniel Francis then on 185 with NJ on 176. Don Productions not yet with us. Hopefully he'll join us a little later on 165. Tied with DJ Phil Green. And DJ Phil Green tonight, Liam, he's already kind of got a core, a teammate, a team. All stamped up, hasn't he? That's all done and dusted. That will be announced soon. We're not going to announce it before the team announce it themselves. But his last time with Dean Wysocki as a teammate.
Yes, and hopefully they can cherish this final moment. Final last 2 races as well. But yeah, hopefully they can cherish that, and maybe they could be teammates in the future. But you want to be snatching up your teammates and your cars as quick as possible, because who knows who's going to be taken by what point.
Yeah, but for now, DJ Phil and Dean saying a final hurrah to their endeavours as a teammate of last season and this season. They will move on to different things, in which Phil has already signed up with another team, and Dean obviously still to announce as things are to come in the future. It's then Smithy just behind, who's about 45 points off the back of DJ Phil. He then is just ahead of Dean Wysocki and Stealth Sloth. They're in a good little battle between them three for 11th place in the championship. Alfie back after missing a few weeks. Can he get himself in that 11th place fight? And Aidan Bennett, we hope to see him back as well. Not at the best of seasons for Aidan, so we hope he can come back and finish off with a strong one. In the Constructors then, we know Forever Forward wrapped up the Constructors title last week. They have also... Team Prolapse now find themselves in a good spot to keep second place with Team Prolassi in P3. Team Cool Runnings, though, in a battle with Ready, Set, Go. So Phil and Dean tonight have the chance of getting fourth in the Constructors table here. Piston Broke with Daniel Francis. What a job he's done so far, beating MC Motorsport, the last team with 2 drivers. And if Aidan turns up tonight, can Daniel Francis hold on to that gap he's got? MC Motorsport just had a Lone Wolf and AA3D printing at the back on their own. But 52 drivers' points up for grabs, Liam. 92 Constructors' points. The practice session has 12 minutes left, and oh, there's Daniel Francis getting it horribly wrong through the second chicane here as Fury heads into the Lesmos, and the conditions already proving a bit difficult as we're seeing BT Targa and Kelly LF already quite a way in front of Fury. Fury 1.5 down on BT Targa, and you look down the order, Smithy's up in 6th place, so not a bad job for Smithy so far. X-Mark DJ Phil not yet got a time in, and Dean Wysocki, he's struggling.
Yes, and maybe that's just a bit of an off time. Hopefully, should I say, it is, but he's got enough time to get some more laps in. That's all he needs to be focusing on right now. Times don't essentially matter as much, as long as they're consistent and within the pace of the other guys. He should be fine.
He should be fine. Indeed. Then what does the McLaren have here tonight? Obviously, you'd say it's a bit slower in a straight line, but at the same time you have to say that the rain kind of throws that out the rule book here, and 56 seconds quicker puts him ahead of Stealth Sloth, but still a little bit off the back of his other competitors. Lap record around here in a GT3 car, just trying to find, I've got one in a GT4, is a 1 minute 57.8 in a Mercedes AMG GT4. I cannot find a GT3. No, can't find one. DTM, they're pretty much GT3 nowadays. Was this year at Monza DTM round in the Ferrari. There you go, Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo did the lap record around here. That did a 1 minute 47.7. I don't think we're going to be seeing them times in the wet, but we'll have to see what these guys can do going forward in the night. The Ferrari 488 GT3, the record holder in the DTM, sorry, and a 147. Maybe a dry pace, you'd probably see that, but not in this kind of weather. And the weather for tomorrow, Liam, looks completely flipped on its head. It's bone dry, it's beautiful sunshine, absolutely clear, not a cloud in the sky. The forecast predicts for tomorrow. We'll have to keep our eyes on it and see what happens from now till then. But the 2 different days, do you know what I mean? We've come here today, it's absolutely miserable. We come back tomorrow, and the weather looks like it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a good thing we get to see the track in 2 different conditions, because with the Pro, obviously, you're going to see what the cars are like with it being bone dry, and tonight you're going to see it wet.
Yeah.
Got a fair amount of people in the chat already. Evening to Daniel Francis, The Wall, he's with us. Evening to Dean Wasaki, that Buzzy Boy, Michael Connolly, aka Stealth Sloth. We've also got Welshie in there. Evening to Welshie. Fury's granddad. Evening Tony. Fury as well. Disco McDisco Face. Oh, that's wet, he says. Amazing Pie Boy. Nice to see Amazing Pie Boy here. Just a light drizzle. Nothing more than a light drizzle, says Amazing Pie Boy. Evening all, good luck. You're going to need it. Go Fury, says Fury's granddad. Disco McDisco Face. Amazing hair and having wheel problems, says Dean Wasaki.
Oh, so not a very good start tonight for Dean Wasaki then.
No. Not the start he'd have wanted at all here, but who's your tip tonight, Liam? Obviously this is practice, 9 minutes left of the final practice of the season. Who's your tip for this race?
For this race, obviously being in first at the moment, it's hard to look past BT Targa at the moment, with Fury quite far off of his pace, but this is only practice, so anything can happen during qualifying and the race.
Anything can happen, and as we know here at Simplay Motorsport, anything probably will happen. So there's a lot to go about tonight then, as we see Stealth Sloth coming out the Parabolica, down the start finish straight to the first chicane here. And he improved on his time there. Everybody's done a lap now, and Dean and DJ Phil, the two that are struggling at the moment. Evening to Rabbit Joe in the chat as well. And evening, everyone. This is going to be something, says Disco. 19 people watching. Guys, let's hit that thumbs up button. Let's get this video to 20 likes before the qualifying session even starts here. Guys have last-minute preps to tweak their setups and get their race runs ready here. As Argent and Nicky are 4th and 5th, Dan Francis is 6th. Smithy's just dropped down to 9th. There's X-Mark's only P8 at the moment, but a lot of drivers here looking very quick and looking like this man especially, Liam, that he's hungry for a couple more race wins.
Yes, indeed, and from what it looks like, he's hungry also possibly to take Fury's record, possible record, should I say, off of him. Yeah.
He's the record that Fury could get. He's tied with Jamie Brazier for race wins, and on 12 he wants to beat that tonight and get himself onto 13 for a season. That is, Jamie Brazier leads the way on 22 race wins, but 12 for a season from Jamie Brazier. And yeah, he's had a good year as Fury, hasn't he? He's had a good year. Can he end it on a high? We have a 50th appearance maker tonight as well in race 2, provided he starts both races. Daniel Francis will make his race number 50 in the second one tonight. Can he have a good night and get himself where he needs to be, get himself some good points in his what will be his 50th appearance for Simplay Motorsport? He only made 20 prior to this season, obviously 20 last year. He's made 24 this season, 4 on the GT5s and 2 on the GTEs at the moment. So can he get to the end and get to where his 50th mark? What will he do? It's already messy, says Daniel Francis in the chat, speaking about him. This could get really messy. Go steady at turn 1, says Fury's granddad. And Tony, absolutely right there as Dean pulls himself into the piss. That's in response to it's already messy. That's what Daniel Francis says. It's already messy at turn 1. Then 6 minutes left of the practice session so far, Liam, and what do we make of it? It's pretty much as it's been all season, as Argent's gone into second place. It's pretty much the Mercs out front, and everybody else apart from Nicky and Kelly who are mixing it with them. In fact, NJ as well, who's mixing it with the Mercs, sort of playing second fiddle to the Mercedes-Benz. Apart from that, the Ferrari and the McLaren, as I think where we expected them to be.
Yes, it is, and shame, but it is what it is in the end of the day, and it's not going to change unless we get someone else in them cars, which, well, we'll find out next season if anyone does go in those cars.
Yeah, we'll find out who's staying in what, who's going in what, who's changing to what. Will there be some new cars on the grid in the Pro-Am or the Pro? Will there be some returning cars? Will there be some returning teams? That's the big question, is how many of these Pro-Am teams stay the same? Obviously, we're having a reshuffle, so even though Kelly's second in the league, he may not be promoted as due to a reshuffle. That will be his choice. And all will be revealed very shortly, as well as BT Targa, currently 1.5 seconds quicker than Argent. And he's then 2.1 quicker than KLF. So Fury at the minute struggling, and BT Targa having it
in a way that he's loving so far. BT Targa is actually on 4 wins himself, so if he was to win 2 races here, he'd equal the only G on 6 race wins all time here at Simplay Motorsports. Fury puts himself second, 1.2 now off the back of BT Targa, and KLF is coming through the first chicane. And oh, he's not, because he's just lit it up on the outside as his teammate Nicky will now follow him through. And he's going to let that's Fury pass as they're coming down towards the Curva Grande. Daniel Francis now at Lesmo 2. A second of the Lesmos, and good bit of straight, little left-hand kink that you don't really live for here. Down under the bridge. Now watch this bridge, it's right at the bottom of the hill as the hill starts to go back up, so there's a puddle just under the bridge as you come into Ascari. Quick chicane here, the quickest of the 3 chicanes, and oh, you just see Daniel getting Ascari a little bit wrong there, and I think a few drivers tonight, Liam, could be forgiven over track limits.
Yes, it is possible, but track limits at the end of the day, so just make sure you stay within them. But
the conditions not going to help that matter tonight, though, are they?
Oh no, the conditions are most likely going to make them worse, but we can try our best to stay in them and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah,
Dean then, Alfie, DJ Phil currently in the pits, well off the pace down the bottom, not yet broke the 2-minute mark that Smithy and Stelsloff, X-Mart, NJ, Daniel Francis, Nicky, KLF, Argent Fury and BT Targa have, though 3 minutes 20 left, and KLF's going to try again through that first chicane. Now gets it down the start straight, now lights up the power out the corner. You just heard how, you saw how far through the corner Kelly was there before he put the power down, before lighting it up. He's really got to be patient here as he comes round the Curva Grande. And Kelly, for me, is one to watch in these wet conditions. You spoke about him in the past saying, can he drive in the wet? He's proven he can.
oh yes, he definitely has, and hopefully he can prove it again tonight.
Hopefully he can prove it tonight. It is going to be interesting to see what he can do.
Yes, it is. It's always interesting to see different drivers doing different things. Obviously, Kelly being one that we see quite often do something, but hopefully tonight can be another night for him.
Yeah, hopefully it can. Smithy as well got a podium last time out in the rain at Zhuhai. How do we rate his chances tonight?
I think his chances are very high. All he needs to do is keep it on the track.
As Smithy then is currently down in 9th and in the pits out Stelsloff, allowing one of the Prolapse cars through. Here's DJ Phil Green. 1 minute 55 remaining, Liam. So for the guys that are in the pits, they're not going to get another lap in, so they may as well stay sort of parked up unless they just want to test something they've tweaked. But how much do you, on a Thursday night in the Pro, how much are you changing in this practice session? Or is it don't touch the setup, maybe the odd tweak of downforce or brake pressures, but nothing too major?
During practice, nothing. To be fair, through the whole night, I don't change anything. There's no point of changing your car whatsoever when you've got it hopefully correct from when you've been practicing through the week, if you have. But if you've only just jumped in the car and you're only just doing your setup, then you need to change a lot of things. But for me personally, I don't change nothing.
So it's going into the you go into race night, you go into that race, the minute you're in the lobby, leave the setup as it is. Maybe if it's wet to dry, you might change something. If it's a wet first race, a dry second race, or a dry first race, you maybe change something there. But on always we've lost Dean Wysocki. Now he will have time to get back in here as the session is coming to an end, but Dean will have time to get himself back in, and hopefully that is the case here as we have we say an evening to E. McKizzle. Yeah, E. McKizzle. Let's go Fury. Disco first BT, second Fury, third Kelly. Fury's grandad with a massive thumbs up. Smithy put a laughing emoji. You jokers. And I can only assume that's in relation to us saying that, can you get another podium? Well, Smith, dream the impossible, my friend. Anything can happen then, as Disco met Disco Face. I have said Argent, but he wasn't great last time. It was a wet race. Pace-wise, definite pace, but just loses the back end. And Peaceful Stepdad, we say a very good evening to Peaceful Stepdad. Good evening all on this very wet Wednesday. And I tell you what, we've had Magic Mondays, we've had Tragic Tuesdays, we've got Wet Wednesdays now.
And I don't know what tomorrow's going to be. We'll have to think up of a name for Thursday. But yeah, we are going to be enjoying this one. And as we come to the end of this session, everybody here at Simplay Motorsport just wants to take a moment to acknowledge what happened at the weekend at Brands Hatch, where we sadly lost the tragic life of a marshal who has been named, I think, Richard Foote or Robert Foote, something like that, I do believe. Our hearts go out to his family and everybody in the motorsport community, not just in the motorsport community, but mainly the marshals who risk their lives to put on the performances for us. Without them, we wouldn't be at the tracks racing. So we just want to take this moment to have a moment's silence, a minute's silence, please, everybody in the chat, for the marshal who lost his life. We're just going to take a moment now, so everybody please stay silent in the chat. Thank you. Thank you for that moment of silence in the chat, and we wish his family the best wishes, and obviously Simplay Motorsport would like to offer its condolences to the marshal. And for those who want to put the orange love hearts in the chat and hashtag the Orange Army, like I say, we can't go racing without the marshals. We do it for them, guys. But no, thank you to everybody who took the silence with us there in the end of the practice session. Our hearts go back out to them. Back to the racing though now, and Dean Wasaki got himself back in. He's just put in the chat before we went to have a minute's silence. They're having mega problems. Sorry, going to try again. He says, evening peaceful stepdad. It's not raining here, says Furious Grandad. Dry Thursday, says Welshie. The Wall with an orange love heart. Thunder Thursday, says Amazing Pie Boy, and I like that one. Evening Gary. Evening all. Why can't I hear anyone? Respect, says Welshie Furious Grandad with an orange love heart. Gary, if you just joined us, we just had a moment's silence for the marshal who sadly lost his life at the weekend, and the orange love hearts flooding in now. Rest in peace, says the Wall, and rightly so, because like we say, we can't go racing without without the marshals being there. As Gary just says, talk about joining at the wrong time. Sorry, no, you're fine, Gary. It's absolutely fine. We're here though at the Monza circuit. It's Jamie Brazy. He's in the chat as well. He puts the orange love out nicely. Jamie Brazy here. We're at the Autodromo. I forgot what it's called now. All right, the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. Then for tonight's race, wet time here. Gary 131 in the chat. He's been a man who's drove Monza in the wet. Remember his fantastic move around the outside of the Parabolica season 1 at the second race of the night to pretty much seal his fate in the championship and win that title. Not that night, but that move pretty much made sure it was job done in the championship. Well, he did it in this livery, and NJ is now the man taking that one on. Fury's Grandad, looks like you got lucky with the weather. Jammy Devil, says Peaceful. And again, just more orange love hearts coming in. Guys, appreciate that one. 25 people watching. Let's smash the like button. Let's get this video to 20 odd likes before the start of the first race. Dan Unorthodox Pro Champ, don't forget. Team Prolapse in the chat with a few rainbows after he's gave us the orange love hearts there. Now then, Liam, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Dean Wasaki back in. Wheel problems, he's been saying. Not yet out the garage in a short qualifying period. That isn't what he wants to be doing at the moment.
No, it's not. Obviously, he wants to be getting out on it, doing his laps. But if he is having wheel problems, then how I see it, what can he really do at this point?
Yeah, what can he do at this point, as well as that one? Argent looks like he's got a bit of a smashed up front end. Good looks, lad, says JR. Thanks, JR. Nice to see you here as well. Gary with the orange loves art. Share the rainbow, taste the rainbow, says on Off Dubs. And Jamie Brazier, will the saying wet as an otter's pocket be used? It just did. There's amazing Pie Boy there with the unicorn and the rainbow as well. And yeah, you're right, Liam. 10 minutes is not a long time for these boys to get out there on the track. They've got to make sure he's out now. So he's missed nearly half the session, but he's got a chance now to get a lap in. There's a push coming down the straight, so he needs to make sure he stays within that white pit line. And he goes straight back into the pits there then. So not what Deeney's wanted. And there's Stovsloff a bit wide through there. He looks like he's had an incident as well. Qualifying time though, Liam, what are we expecting?
Qualifying times, obviously during the practice, I think the fastest was about a 53, 54, so possibly be looking at maybe a 52 pushing a 51.
Who are we tipping for pole position, Liam?
I'm going to have to say BT Targa was about a second and a half quicker than person in second, so very hard to look past him.
Very hard to look past him indeed, and he's on it so far at the moment. He's really giving it some as well, his BT Targa. But can anybody upset him? Dean back out the pit lane once more then, so he's got still just under 6 minutes to get a lap time in here. And well, if he's just come out the pits there, he was all over the track and has cut the white line twice there. So Dean, you know, got to stay within the white line, mate. But yeah, if he's having wheel problems, that may explain a few things.
Yes, indeed, it doesn't. Hopefully he can get them sorted.
So pit window lap 5 in the race. The first few times just coming in now then as BT Targa 153.3, currently 8 tenths quicker than Fury at the moment, as Argent there has got Smithy right behind him, and Smithy looking quite racy here compared to Argent. Argent looks like he's had the front end of that Mercedes a bit smashed up.
Maybe he's hit a wall and collected a bit of the wall with him when going for a return.
Yeah, interesting one to see at the minute. We'll have to see what Argent is going to do for the rest of this lap. Smithy, he's had a bit of a spin there, and he'll be wanting to make sure he can improve on his time as Dean is in the pits. BT Targa back in the pits as well. Does BT Targa need to go out and do a lap, Liam?
I would say so, yes, because he's not in the clear until that time hits 0.
It's very wise, Liam. Probably one of the wisest things you've said. But no, you're right. He's coming back out the pits now, as is Stovsloff, as is one of the Team Pro Labs cars, as is Dean Wysocki as well. Then you see them all sticking to the pit exit line. And Dean back into the pits. In and out the pits like a yo-yo. And Fury's still there. Smithy in the pits as well. And at the moment, X-Mark quickest through Sector 1. NJ quickest through the middle sector. So let's go to NJ very quickly. Is he going to improve on his time? He's coming down towards the Parabolica. DJ Phil in front of him, but not close enough really to be getting in his way. And NJ could use that slipstream down the straight here. Please BT win, says Jamie Brazier. Then that'll be so that Fury doesn't beat the record. And NJ then just coming around the Parabolica now. Can he get close enough? Has he backed out this one? X-Mark green in Sector 2. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. But so far, NJ the quickest through Sector 2. He's coming down the start-finish straight now. And he's going to cross the line. Where's he going to get here? He's currently at P7 and doesn't improve in that final sector. X-Mark then was quickest through Sector 1. What can he do towards Sector 2 at the moment? Dean back out on circuit again, but hasn't got a lot of time to get a qualifying lap in here. And here comes X-Mark then. Can he improve on his time? Currently sits P3. Can he improve on that? No. Loses out by just shy of a tenth of a second. A lot of green sectors coming in, but the wetter this track gets, the less you're going to see an improvement. Dean here has possibly left qualifying too late. Alfie then at the minute, P11. On what looks to be a personal best lap so far for Alfie. He's in the slipstream of one of the Team Pro Labs cars. He can carry that down the start-finish straight. And what's he going to do when he gets to the line? Currently P11. Can he improve to get near DJ Phil? No, doesn't improve this time around. So must have lost time somewhere then. NJ again, good in the first sector with the 39 seconds through the first sector, as was X-Mark to be fair in Sector 1. Fury's gone purple Sector 2, but his Sector 1 time isn't good enough at all for Fury. It's over 2 minutes for that first sector time. Have you sent Argent his PayPal yet, Jamie? Asks. Oh, excuse me, Fury's grounded. Dean Wysocki back in the pits. No time set for Dean, and he needs to get out just to get one lap in. X-Mark Daniel Francis pulling to the pits as well. This man, purple sector 1, but is purple sector 2. NJ, though, was purple sector 1 and goes green sector 2. So let's go back to NJ. What can NJ do here then? He's got a lovely slipstream off of Phil. In fact, no, he hasn't, because Phil's not there anymore. He's getting a lovely slipstream off of his teammates. So maybe a bit of team tactics down the back end of the track. Into the Parabolica comes NJ now. And you just hear how cautious they're being on the throttle. Round the final corner they come. Out the Parabolica. Dan Francis and X-Mark in the pits. It's 5 Mercedes at the front again here. How many times have we seen that this season? Here comes NJ. Any part of his time up? Is 1.5 seconds goes ahead of Daniel Francis, and what a job that is. What have you got? Where have you gone? BT currently on provisional pole. Then Fury, X-Mark, Argent, me, Kelly, NJ, Stelsloff, Phil, Alfie, Smithy. Yeah, we've got that one. We've got that one. As Dean finally out the pits and looks like he's on a lap. Argent went quickest in the final sector to stay 4th. And KLF went purple middle at first sector, green middle sector. So where's Kelly on the track? Could this be an improvement for KLF 900? He's at the Parabolica. He's patient. NJ up to 5th. We know, Daniel. We see. We've got this. KLF then, purple sector 1. What can he do on his time? Currently down in P7. For Kelly, a couple of attempts will put him back up into 5th. And he doesn't improve. Loses it all in the final sector there for Kelly. So what went wrong? We're not sure, but no purple sectors coming in here. The one to keep our eyes on is where is Dean? Because Dean has not yet got a lap in and will have one chance to get a lap. He's got 34 seconds to get through Ascari, Parabolica and to the start line. Smithy goes purple sector 1. Hold the phone. $14 seconds to go here. And it is so far Smithy, who's looking like he's on a bit of a fly, a bit of a personal best. Did Dean get to the line? Let's just go and check. He's not going to do it. Dean is not going to get a qualifying lap in here. So that will mean that he starts last and 13th place. Back to Smithy we go. On a bit of a flyer is Smithy so far. Dean Wysocki for the final round of the season will start 13th. Can Fury keep his little record up of being on the front row of every first race of the night? Here comes Smithy. Purple, then green. What can Smithy do? He goes 9th. Great lap from Smithy in the end. What can others do? Others around them have pitted. Now there's no one apart from Kelly to really challenge Fury's lap here of knocking him off that front row for the final race of the season. That looks like that's intact here. Where is KLF? He's coming to the Parabolica. He's the next car to finish his lap. We'll have to check who it is in the background a bit after Kelly's done. Got a feeling it may be Argent and then BT Target. BT was quickest through sector 1 again, and that to me would seem that Kelly's backed out of that one. Liam, he doesn't look very quick through the Parabolica.
No, he doesn't.
No, he's pulled into the pits. Let's go to Argent then. Is it Argent? No, it was Alfie. Let's go to Alfie. Alfie then BT Target here. So Alfie on a personal best lap as well. What can Alfie do down the straight? We'll jump to BT Target straight after. Fury's called it into the pit, so he will then have that record done of every race 1 qualification. He's qualified on the front row. Alfie goes night. BT Target doesn't improve, but it's provisional pole for him. Stealth Sloth can take that one away, but he needs to find a good 5.2 seconds then. Does he improve? No, he stays P11. No Aidan Bennett in this one at the moment either. But it's BT Targo who takes the pole position in Q1, the final qualifying of the year where everybody can jump on and qualify. Fury then ends that record of every qualifying one of the season. He's qualified on the front row of the grid. What a job by him. X-Mart, 3rd place. Stellar qualifying from him. Great performance there. And then we have... Argent P4, NJ in 5th place. Daniel Francis is then in P6. KLF is 7th with Nicky PA. Alfie 9th, decent qualifying from him. Smithy in 10th, great lap from Smithy. And it will be DJ Phil, Stokesloff 11th, DJ Phil Green 12th, and Dean Wysocki gets a lap time in, but it was not representable at all. What can he do in this first race? I'm just looking at the comments come in. Amazing Pie Boy, yes, they can hear us. Can't hear or see, says Daniel Francis. Not sure why. Jamie Brazier, go on Smithy. No damage here, said Kieran. Don't know what happened. Reset my YouTube. Never mind. Was just me, lol. Kieran Argent putting the YouTube link in, and Daniel Francis hadn't had anything since the end of practice. No idea how it did that. Playing the feed on my Google Hub. Can't touch it. Dean Wysocki not having a great night. Lost my wheel settings. I mean, how do you lose your wheel settings?
That is a very good question.
That is a very good question.
We'll know that answer.
Yeah, only Dean will know that answer. BT Targa, you said, was the man for pole. He got pole. Who's your man for the race win?
I'm going to have to say BT Targa again. He's showing some stellar pace at the moment, especially when it comes to the wetting. One way it looks like the race is going to be just completely wet.
It does, yeah. Rain all night, pretty much the forecast is, Liam, so we'll have to keep our eyes on what happens here. But BT Targa, the man tipped by you. Get your votes in the chat for who you think's going to win. Go Prolap says Amazing Pie Boy. Evening All says Monkey Boy. Good luck at turn 1. Peaceful Stepdad says good luck everybody as well. So a lot of good luck everybody's in the chat for turn 1. And that's the key here. Good luck everybody in turn 1. Now then, Fury. Every Q1 has qualified on the front row. Qualifying average of 2nd. That's the best out of everybody here in Q1. BT Targa averages 3rd. Xmart averages 4th. Argent averages 5th. KLF averages P6. Daniel Francis averages 5th place as well. 7 poles for Fury this year. BT Targa has 5. So Fury will end the season with the most pole positions in the Pro-Am. Can he, though, beat Jamie Brazier's record? Has his wheel reset itself? Says Jamie, we're going to go ready here. It's green. Fury gets a good start. BT Targa looked a little bogged down and really struggling to get off the line, did BT Targa, and Fury's already got away. And look at that. Dean stands still while Alfie, Daniel Francis and NJ all lose the car, and Dean will now go on his way. But Fury into turn 1. Look who's 4th at the first corner. Smithy's had a blinding start to this race and he's already P4 ahead of Argent. Great stuff from these guys. And so far then, Fury leads from BTX Mart. Smithy up to 4th, Liam. What a heck of a job from Smith.
Oh yeah, a brilliant job. And it just truly shows anything can happen when there's a bit of rain.
Bit of rain and it really opens the door up to anybody. Dean, NJ, Alfie and Daniel Francis, not sure what happened, but NJ's really lost out. Smith deep into the second chicane, has to rejoin now. That's Kelly behind him as Nicky there gets close to the rear of DJ Phil, and I think Smithy stayed ahead of Kelly there. Indeed he did. There's Daniel Alfie as well. In the background you see Deep and Smithy wide at the first Lesmo. That will allow for Kelly, Stealth Soft, Argent to all get through, so Smithy just dropping down to P7 here. And he gets it right though for Lesmo number 2 as DJ Phil and Nicky are on the back. But BT Targa already has a job to do to regain that race win down off of Fury here. And Fury could be beating Jamie Brazier's record.
It is a possibility, and let's hope that possibility comes true. Sorry Jamie for saying that, but yeah, it would be nice to see someone finally taking that record after the 3rd season.
Records are meant to be broken, as someone once said, Liam, and at the minute we have had a fantastic start to this race. You see Daniel Francis in the background through Ascari, and he's round into the wall and spins right round. Dean's down to 21st, so not sure what is happening with Dean tonight. Not a great night at all. And he is struggling here, but he may find himself past Daniel Francis, who goes one way, goes another. Dean has to avoid him and into the wall, and Daniel Francis loses it on his own. That is how much damage Daniel Francis may have in that car. Phil's got past Smithy. Nicky now has the run out of the Parabolica. Down the start straight he goes. And already Smithy then, side by side with Nicky. Nicky's going to have that inside line into the first chicane here. And here comes Nicky. Smithy tucks back in and gets heavy on them brake pedals. And Nicky, oh! And I tell you what, Phil lost it on his own and Nicky had to avoid him. And Smithy there didn't see, obviously must have missed Phil, but just taps him and finishes the job. KLF now as Stealth Soft. In fact, no, that's Nicky who's ahead of Stealth Soft. So did Stealth Soft have a problem as well? Evening Peaceful Stepdad says Monkey Boy in the chat. And Stealth Soft now looking for a move back on Nicky, but Fury leads 1.5 seconds from BT Targa, and Daniel Francis, and at the end of lap 1 is already into the pits.
Oh no, it's all coming down now.
Oh, Smithy. Oh, Stealth's off. Just nudging Smithy onto the grass. And Smithy goes around. And that's allowed DJ Phil and Alfie past him as Smithy gets back around now. And his teammates coming. But, yeah, a bit cheeky that from Stealth's just forcing Smithy onto the grass there. And at the minute, Fury, BT, X-Mark, KLF, Argent on the back of Kelly as well here. Let's just go on board, Argent. Let's go on the bonnet cam. Let's see the wet of the track, how wet it is. Look at the track, it is sodden. It is drenched here. And look at Argent in the slipstream. He's going to go to that outside line here on KLF. Now, that's not the worst line around the Parabolica. And Argent, the pace of the Mercedes, looks like he could have an advantage. And has he got it done before the Parabolica? He does. And around the outside goes Argent. Job done. Up to P3. No! Deep at the Parabolica. Off at the Parabolica. Not bad enough to lose the car, but wide nonetheless. And that's allowed KLF back up the inside. And Jamie Brazier, if Fury beats my record, can I come back to Pro-Am to beat it? No. Simple. Really, on that one. Liam, what do you make to the first 3 laps of this race?
Questionable, but entertaining.
I think it's been a lot better than a few of us was expecting.
Definitely compared to what I've heard anyway. But yeah. Eventful
nonetheless. BT Targa is now 2.5 behind Fury then, and that is Kelly looking to come back. No, that's Nicky, is it, looking to come back at Argent? So has Argent made another mistake? NJ into the pits at the end of the second lap here, and is this now then a chance for Nicky to get past Argent? They're just running side by side into the second chicane. Argent's gone a little deep. Nicky stops to make it done. And Argent goes the longer way around. And oh, look at them sleeping policemen really jumping that car about. He can't come across to defend the Team Prolapse car of Nicky. That's job done for Nicky. Now Stealth Sloth waits patiently. And can he get the job done on Argent? Argent seeming to struggle now.
Yeah, maybe that Mercedes is starting to feel a bit...
Oh, Stealth! How is he held? Oh, he's not held onto it. I thought he'd done well coming through the second Lesmo, and a bit of a slide then, and in the end he does go round, and that's allowed DJ Phil and possibly Alfie up the inside to get another place. I don't think Alfie has got past him, actually. We see under the bridge there, Alfie side by side looking for a move, actually, a bit further back. Alfie on the outside of Ascari. Has he got that one done? Indeed he has. Daniel Francis is back into the pits again here, as NJ's not long came out the pits. And Alfie then has that move done on Stealth Sloth and up into P8. Not a bad race so far for the Ferrari.
No, it's not, and hopefully we can keep this going through till the end of the race. And if he can, he could possibly get himself a little bit further up the grid.
Stealth Sloth then back ahead of Alfie down that straight. Is that just a lack of speed from the Ferrari, or is that how Stealth Sloth's got the car set up here? But Argent is on the back of Nicky once again and is hunting Nicky down towards turn 1 here. And here goes Argent. He's looking for that bit of pace. Can he pull out up to the inside line? He's having a look now. Alfie and Stealth Sloth side by side in the background. There's Daniel Francis, and Argent later on the brakes than Nicky. He just gets that Mercedes in front and gets it stopped at the chicane now, and Nicky has to wait. Argent back up into P5. What's happened out front? 0.8 of a second separate the two leaders. That gap's come down near enough 2 seconds. BT Targa now on the pace of Fury out front, and has Fury just made a mistake somewhere? Because he's got BT gaining on him, and this is going to be an interesting fight here, Liam, because Jamie will want this man to take the win. Fury will want the record.
Yeah, it's a bit of a what's going to happen in this kind of situation, and like you say, Jamie's going to be jumping up and down on his chair, hopefully, for BT Targa to win, as we're going to be sitting here jumping up and down on our chairs, wanting Fury to win.
Yeah, records are meant to be broken. What will happen if Fury does break that record? I'm sure he's been waiting for it for a few weeks now, but not been able to do it. Welshie saying that Jamie can't go back in the Pro-Am because he's there. And the last time Welshie was in the Pro-Am, Jamie beat Welshie, as well as Welshie dropping the pad to no race the first race. The championship could have looked a lot different if he'd have kept it in his hands. On Orthodubs, you have to go in the Ginetta, Jamie. No, he needs a pedal bike in reply. Daniel Francis. So race 2, I think that's what he's looking at now. Race 2 at the moment then is that BT Target just drops back from Fury again a little bit here, and Argent has Nicky on the back of him.
Oh, not close, not as close as the timing screens may make out here. Now, Dean's getting 2 places over NJ and Daniel Francis. He's looking, oh, huge mistake there, just into that wall a little bit. Pit window opens at the end of lap 5. I mean, in the Pro-Am, the rule's not there. We've got to pit twice. If you've got enough damage, you can pit early. And Dean's saying he's struggling because his wheel wet settings changed. Well, hopefully he's got his wheel settings that he used to use and he can change them back here. But Nicky looking to get back on the back of that Mercedes-Benz. And we've said, Liam, all week that the Mercedes should suit this track. It's very... Oh, no, it would do. It would do if Argent didn't have a spin. Now, Nicky there stopped, but I just think, and it was ever so gentle, Liam, tapped the rear of Argent just as he put the throttle down. And I think it was enough to spin Argent round. But it was the faintest of taps, that, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, and... It maybe stewards. I don't think anything would come out of it, but they might put it in.
Yeah, Smithy then into the pits at the end of lap 4. He comes in then to get his job done. So Dean then moves up into 10th place at the minute. That's another place for Dean on the cards. The next person to pass is Alfie. 18 seconds up the road, getting ready to ring Jamie whichever way this goes, says Fury's granddad. God damn it, these commentators don't let anything go, says Welshie. And the wall, come on Kelly, go for the podium, says the wall. And Kelly's got some work to do. He's going to get the podium because he's a bit off the back of X-Mart at the moment, isn't he?
Yes, he is, and hopefully it'll give him a bit more of a fight coming to the end of the race.
Yeah, there's Fury coming up to lap NJ, and don't worry, it's like the World Endurance where backmarkers don't have to get out of the way. They're not obliged to get out of the way, and it's going to be even trickier where the puddles are on the circuit for these drivers to move out the way, Liam.
Yes, it is, and well, if they're going to move out the way, they're going to move out the way, but they're not going to do it at an unsafe place. So maybe Fury's or BT Target, should I say, are going to have to stay behind them until it is safe.
Yeah, well, Fury's got past NJ now, and NJ didn't make that hard. NJ stayed in a straight line and let Fury get past him as KLF then, the first man to pit under the pit window, looking for that undercut maybe on X-Mart. Now, another thing to watch tonight, Liam, is speeding in the pit lane. Easy to do here as DJ Phil then up the inside of the Parabolica on Stealth Sloth, and he as well is going to get that job done and dive himself straight into the pits here then. But we say about the drive-through penalties, all retired for disqualification for speeding in the pits. How easy is it to do at this track?
It's going to be very easy, and hopefully we don't see any disqualifications when it does come down to speeding in the pit lanes, but it is something you can't look past.
It's not. We'll have to keep our eyes on what these guys can do. As Aidan Bennett, good luck for the final race of the season, guys. So I hope Aidan's with us for race 2 as Alfie as well brings himself into the pits. And that's another one to pit at the end of lap 5 here. And will Dean get himself ahead of these two? I tell you what, if DJ Phil goes ahead, Dean might want to get himself into the pits. His pit stop's been that long. If DJ Phil is gone, Dean should get himself in the pits. I think DJ Phil's coming out the pits. I don't know if we could cut that, Liam. He has. So will Dean decide to come in now? I mean, personally I would, but he's not. So Dean stays out on the track. Daniel Francis again into the pit lane. Not good for him. Got to get to lap 11, score points, and Daniel Francis having a poor race at the moment. Argent, though, looking to get on the rear end of Nicky so far tonight. My crash was on my own, but can cause a lap ahead. Remember, you're not battling cars who are lapped, please. If you were faster, let us pass and slipstream us. As Argent, coming through Ascari, has lost it into the braking zone of the first part of Ascari. Then where's Stealth Sloth, who's got a real chance to get past Argent now. He's there, just coming through Ascari himself. And Argent can't get it back on the road. And Stealth Sloth is ahead. KLF, the next man who's already pitted. And Argent, who may have wanted to jump Kelly by going longer in the pits, has lost that opportunity now. As there's KLF in the background, already a pit stop done. And he has got Argent in his sights. But Argent here has made that huge mistake, Liam, and that's really cost him some time.
Yes, it has, and he's going to be pushing with all his might now to get that position back, essentially, but all that time is just lost from that one little mistake.
One little mistake indeed. Alfie's having a long old pit stop here, and Nicky then comes into the pits. Argent brings it straight into the pit lane as well. You cannot blame him as Daniel Francis stays out of the way. The leader's there, then Alfie comes out the pits, but Alfie's pit stop has given Dean a huge gap. Dean really ought to get himself in the pits. Dean's been overtaken by his teammate then. DJ Phil, or did DJ Phil stay in front of Dean? I'm not quite sure on that one. Ascari equals pain, says Jamie Brazier, and heartbreak for Kieran Argent, who was trying to gain on Nicky, and Nicky's already out the pits while Argent is having a long stop. Now, if you was Dean in this situation, Liam, you dive into the pits. If you've got damage and are struggling with the wheel already, get that damage repaired so you've got longer on a better running car.
Yes, you would, but hopefully he is listening to the stream, so he will do that. But only time tells, as he is coming up to the pit lane now.
Yeah, he's staying towards the inside of the corner, and he is going to dive into the pit. So if Dean is listening, he's taking the advice there and does dive himself into that pits, then try and get that damage repaired. He's got to know that Alfie's had a long stop, and he could jump Alfie in the pits. Can he jump Smithy and NJ and as well? He's already lapped Daniel Francis, so I don't think Daniel's worried to Dean in this race at the minute. But BT Targa has that gap to Fury, back under a second, and oh, Smithy has huge damage to his Porsche there. Then look, there's no rear spoiler or anything. Big damage here. You hear how he's on and off the throttle, getting it round the parabolica. That's going to be another pit stop, and that could just give Dean an extra place as Daniel Francis again is in the pits, and Smithy hits a puddle and into the wall, and Dean then may have just gave himself an extra place over Smithy with that pit stop. Where though is NJ? Is NJ about to pass Dean anywhere? Oh, he's had a spin. Yeah. He's had a spin somewhere, because that's just recovered and has got huge damage to the front of that car. So will NJ need to pit again? Dean, though, has jumped Alfie then, as there comes NJ. Dean staying between the two white lines as he comes down the bottom of the pits. Hey all, come on Kelly, says Beth, and NJ struggling already and moves out to Dean's way. NJ knowing he's got damage and lets Dean by without really much of a fight because he knows he's struggling.
Yeah, and that should be how it is, but obviously with the rules being insane, you don't need to move. Some people take advantage of that and just stay in the way practically.
Smithy went off at Ascari, said Jamie Brazier. So that's what happened there. But here goes Argent trying to get past DJ Phil. Phil then has pitted. Yeah, he has pitted. So has Argent. So this is a battle for position on the track. And at the moment, it's only BTX Smart, Fury and Stealth Sloth who haven't came into the pits. The top four haven't yet pitted, and Nicky ahead of KLF by a couple of seconds here. And will the team orders come into play to let Kelly stay in front of Nicky there? But Argent looking for a move now on DJ Phil and the McLaren. Not got the upper hand in terms of its straight line speed, Liam, but can DJ Phil fend off Argent down this start straight? He pulls out now. He's going to look for that inside line into turn one, and a swift manoeuvre for Argent. But look at that. They've got Smithy coming out the pits. Argent may have to get out of this one. Smithy trying to get out the way. Argent gets the move done just, but has to come in front of Phil as Smithy there just found himself in the way, and we have lost NJ from this race, so he is retired from this one. We are down to the 12 runners then, but Smithy come out the pits at a time for Argent which he wouldn't have wanted.
No, he wouldn't have wanted it, but it is what it is in the end of the day, and he's going to have to live with it and try and pass him at any opportune moment.
PT Target into the pits, lap 8 of 16, so exactly halfway through this race he pits. Smithy then staying to that inside line of the Lesmos for Argent to go through, but poor old Smithy's got to have that inside line as DJ Phil's going to try and hang it around the outside, and poor old Smithy has got nowhere he can go. He's again trying to pull to the inside off the racing line, but the corner comes up so quick, and Phil now goes around the outside as Stealth Sloth brings it into the pits as well. Smithy there was kind of, come on lads, I need you to get past, I need you to get through, but they wasn't passing him. They wasn't able to lap him there. Then Fury leads this race from Xmart. BT is pitted. Stealth Sloth comes into the pits. Where then is Nicky in terms of passing Stealth Sloth? Nicky goes past. Where's Kelly then? KLF 900. He will also get past. Where's Argent? Stealth Sloth on his way out the pits. Where's Argent? Nowhere near. So Stealth Sloth will come out P6. Great racing so far, Liam, on display, isn't it? Really tricky conditions, and the guys proving that they are a match for these conditions, if you will.
Yes, it is, and well, like we said before the race, a little bit of conditions, different conditions, specifically wet, will make the race a little bit more dicey.
It will make it more dicey, and we love a dicey race here. The rain is just going to get worse as Daniel Francis is in the pits again here. What a poor race for Daniel Francis, not the best for him. He'll be wanting to get this one over and done with as Fury then comes in at the end of lap 9, reacting to BT Targa's stop. How good then is BT Targa's outlap? There he is coming down towards the parabolica. Where then is Fury in terms of his pits?
Right, so he's in his box. He's still stationary in his box. BT Targa breaking into the Parabolica. Fury is away. Xmart now comes in as well. Let's see where Fury... Let's go back to Fury, as Fury's going to hit the speed limiter. We'll see when. BT Targa then coming out the Parabolica. Look for the cones. Here you see the speaker, the green cones just there. That's where he can release his pit limiter. And BT Targa might just have this one done. He has going to get it done. Fury's not come off the limiter, and BT Targa is there. Look, there is BT. There's Fury. Fury can't cross the white line, and BT leads this race on to lap 10. He leads the race here. BT Targa has Fury on the back of him now, Liam, and Jamie will be jumping for joy in the bedroom.
Oh yeah, hopefully not jumping too much, but he will be. He's going to be loving this. It's a possibility of keeping his record, should I say. Yeah. And
oh, we've lost another driver then. Just trying to see who's retired from the race. As Fury's gone straight on there, he's going to have to get that place back, and he does so. We have had, though, another retirement from this race, and I
think it's Alfie.
Yes, Alfie then has retired from this one. So Alfie and NJ then retired. They will both get to qualify for the second race, and 13 started this race, so the top 6 cannot qualify. So at the minute, Argent, Phil, Dean, Smithy, Daniel, Francis, NJ and Alfie can all qualify for the next race, as Dean is back in the pits. So in terms of giving Smithy and Daniel Francis the chance of gaining some ground, he just has done that, maybe. But Fury on the back of his title challenger here. And Kelly's got himself ahead of Nicky. Now, is that team orders? We'll have to wait and see. But Fury, oh, very sideways midway through a Scary chicane there, and has hung on to it like an absolute beaut as he comes down the back straight now towards the Parabolica. 26 people watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you are new to the channel as well, as this is the finale then of the Pro-Am category, and Fury has lost a lot of time to BT Targa. Liam slipping and sliding through the Ascari chicane. It's like a water slide. In fact, he's wide at the Parabolica. Fury's starting to struggle since his pit stops.
Yeah, he is. It may be the fact that he's pushing that a little bit too much at the moment, but he needs to try and beat that record. And well, racing's racing, and obviously you're going to push as much as you can, especially for such a moment. Yeah, you really are. You're really going to give it your all, especially when you've got the chance of taking a record from somebody. Monza announced for next season. Alexa, play Sound of Silence, says Aidan Bennett. Well, the admins, the calendar should be being picked this weekend, so there could be something around this weekend of what the calendar will look like for next season. What's the point situation for people going up? Well, at the minute, Kelly will be going up. Fury's gone up, and it's between BT Targa and Xmart. But I think if BT Targa gets this win, then Xmart cannot do it then. So 26 points gone from this one already. 26 points to play in the next race. And so far, it's looking in the way. Fury will have to go to the final race of the season to take that win. 28 people watching, 22 likes. Guys, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new to the Simplay channel. Hang around for a short while after this. We'll be bringing driver interviews and the second race of the night, the final race, round 24 of the Pro-Am season. Join us tomorrow night for the season finale of the Pro, round 23 and 24, where Unorthodox took the title last week. Bozzy, you took your first podium, and Fury very wide out of Ascari and into that gravel trap on the outside of it, and he's losing more time to BT Targa here. That you feel that record just being sucked away from him. Yeah, well, all he needs to do is, if he can't do it this race, put all focus on next race, because it all comes down to that last one. It's not like he's got that one extra race for next week. This will be the final race next round, which is after this race. Yeah, which is coming up very shortly as well. Fury then losing ground to BT Targa. Dean, after his pit stop again, is gaining ground on Smithy. Then that gap is about 4 seconds. It's 9 seconds according to the timing screen. 5 seconds on there, but 9 seconds on the top. So it's kind of glitched out a little bit here. Smithy, though, is this Stealth Sloth actually gaining on KLF. So KLF's lost out to Nicky again here. And yeah, Stealth Sloth gaining on the back. Oh, bit of a wiggle through Ascari, having a huge wiggle. We're starting to see people struggle at the Ascari chicane now. Yeah, and it's all the puddles which are forming from the rain. There's nothing more, nothing less to it. Just the puddles.
Yeah. Brilliant. The puddles from the rain. We're going to have Liamisms, I reckon. We've got Duffinisms, Murrayisms. We've now got Liamisms, I reckon. It's the puddles forming from the rain. Hey, don't sigh. Murray Walker had a few in him. And what a legend he was. The late, great Murray Walker is passed away sadly earlier this year. And we all remember him fondly. And none more than me who wants to emulate what he did in his career. And hopefully bringing you the best commentary here for Simplay Motorsport. Fury back on the pace of BT Targa last lap at 2/10. Isn't going to cut it, and that's Dean and Smithy, who's had a spin at the Ascari chicane, and the leaders are coming. Here comes BT Targa. Dean needs to keep himself out of the way and stays well to the right-hand side of the circuit as he comes back across now. He's got to move back across because Fury's there, and Smithy as well looks like he's got damage. These two could have to pit, and Smithy is all over the place. You just see him sort of wiggling, trying to get that car straight, and BT Targa right round the outside of Smithy cleverly keeps it shut, and you see he's a bit all over the place. Smithy is struggling. Evening Fury's mum. Evening all. Come on Fury, says Fury's mum. Jamie Brazy. It's going well for Dan as it possibly could, as Smithy then into the pit lane. Dean carries on his merry way. Disco, haha. Good evening Fury's mum, says peaceful step out of puddles from my tears, says Daniel Francis. He's cried that hard, he's generated a few puddles. Smithy's going to score some points here then. Dean Wasocki looks like he's going to get ninth as Daniel's still a lap down behind. Can Daniel Francis get back around to get close to Smithy? Fury then 2 seconds behind BT Target, losing a lot of ground. Xmart's not really catching on these two, but these two seem to be matching each other's pace, Liam, here. They are sticking with it so well.
Yes, they are, and in fact, last lap, Fury was quicker by just
a tenth. It's not going to cut it, though, is it? A tenth's not going to cut it here. Has BT made a little mistake? Because Fury looks a bit closer. As there's Dean and Daniel Francis in the background. Onto BT Targa now. Fury just looks a little bit closer at the moment, but we know the bad one at the minute is the Ascari chicane. Now, is that where Smithy spun and Dean got caught up? We're not sure what happened exactly. Fury, huge wiggle onto the grass. Dean's lost it in the background coming through the second Lesmo. And how Fury didn't put that in a wall. What abilities there as Dean has spun right round now and gets back going, lighting up the tyres. That's not what Dean wants to do. He needs to take it nice and steady to keep the tyres cool. Over BT Targa, he's lost it at Ascari, and Fury now is sniffing at a victory as he's up the inside of the Ascari chicane, and BT Targa on his own has dropped it. Fury now sniffs the record, and what was Jamie Brazier dancing in the bedroom celebrating that Fury's not done it yet. He's now, well, I tell you what, it's not Daniel Francis's tears, it's the tears of Jamie Brazier that's made Monza so wet tonight, because Fury is now back in that winning seat to take the record. All Liam through BT Targa dropping it on his own. Fury at one stage nearly dropped it. BT Targa now has, and what has happened to Stealth Sloth, who's been running so well tonight but he's dropped to 8th and he's in the pits here, and that could give Dean an extra place. Matt, since tonight is the end of the season, what has been your favourite moment so far? Are we talking Pro-Am, Aiden? If we're talking Pro-Am, I'll give it you. If we're talking Pro, I'll give you that. If you want both, one from each, I'll give you both. Let me know which one you're on about, and we'll go from there. But Stelz's off in the pits. This should allow Dean through. I did say puddles at Ascari earlier, says Disco. He did. And Dean then is a lap down on Stelz's. So Stelz's then is a lucky man at the minute that he's a lap ahead. Best Pro-Am moment of this season. Oh, there's been a few, but I'm going to have to say Kelly and Smithy's 1-2 at Zhuhai was a brilliant moment, I think, for this season. Best moment for me as a commentator, to see that race sort of unravel for the top drivers and the second guys, the secondary sort of string sort of take the win in the second place. That was brilliant. Fury's mum, keep it steady, Fury. Kelly's flip, says Jamie Brazier. Liam, what was your best Pro-Am moment of this season?
It's hard because obviously I've not been here for all of them, but for the ones that I have been here for, it's very hard to choose from. There's been plenty of really good things happen through the season. I'm going to have to say Smithy's podium, though. Yeah.
As here comes Argent, then Stelzloff just out the pits now. Argent looking up the inside of Kelly. Kelly defending well, and Argent backs out to that one for the first chicane at the moment, and has to rethink that. And look how slow they are into that first chicane. They're pretty much stopping to get around it. It is getting that well out there. Fury, though, has a great lead here.
Daytona for Disco and Daytona and Sugo for Jamie Brazier. Keep going, Fury, says Fury's granddad. We're on lap 14 of 16 here then. And Argent looking to get past KLF. Now, Kelly was ahead of Nicky earlier, was P4. He's now down in P5. Go on, Smithy. Made Matt's pro-am moments, he says, NJ in the chats. 28 people watching, 23 likes. Guys, let's hit that thumbs up button as Argent was a bit deep on the exit. Kelly's flip plus Daniel Francis getting sent to the shadow realm is a close one for Aidan Bennett. Yeah, Smithy's podium for me, I think, was just a highlight to see. Oh, a stealth sloth straight on at the Lesmos. This track's getting worse. I was then about to say the same thing, Liam. It says Jamie Brazier in the chat. That's Smithy, though, my man of the moment, who's had a spin at the second Lesmo, and that could allow Daniel Francis to maybe get in by the end of this race. But this is the battle for the lead. Fury so far. This is the battle, sorry, for 5th place out there on track. Argent can't get past Kelly. Fury, though, at the moment has the race lead as Kelly so slow into Ascari. Argent has to brake so much there. But look, you've just got to take your time. Adam Kalp. Let's hope Kieran uses his brakes, says Adam Kalp. And for those who don't get that joke, that's an old joke from me and Mazda back in a previous league from a while ago. What's your favourite pro moment then, Matt? If you want my favourite pro moment, tune in tomorrow night and I'll give you my favourite pro moment of the season. I'm not going to give mine away just yet. Argent left, right, left, up the inside at the Parabolica. Has he gone too deep? No, he's got it stopped. Mazda, the brakes are working fine. He's up the inside of KLF, and that is Argent for P5. That could be job done if you're Kieran Argent. He's got to hang on to the end though. Fury 2.5 seconds back to BT Targa. Look at the line that Kelly takes compared to Kieran. Totally different. Not wanting to be in that spray at all. Then is KLF. He tucks back in now to the spray. And into turn 1. We've seen Argent have a few moments. Me winning on my debut, says Disco. I remember that one. I must have missed that one, Disco. But BT slowly starting to gain a couple of tenths on Fury with 2 laps to go here. Fury just needs to keep it all together. He needs to keep his nerves in check, Liam. How is Fury's nerves at this moment? You know yourself from your first podium, nerves were all over the place. How's Fury's nerves, knowing that he could break a Simplay Motorsport record?
I couldn't tell, as we was talking about earlier, tears which are causing these puzzles.
Oh, Argent's had a big moment coming out the second chicane, sorry Liam, and that's allowed Kelly back up front. BT Targa has cut the gap short to Argent. Something rotten here, and I tell you what, to Fury then, he's cut it something rotten. Fury then leads this race. They're coming up to the second chicane, and BT's on the back of Fury near enough. Has Fury's tyres just gone? I tell you what, BT Targa, can he steal this moment from Fury at the very end? What a cruel way to do it. Fury's got to hang on for this lap. We'll jump back to KLF and Argent just for a moment. Nothing being done yet. They're at Ascari. They will have one more lap to do this, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Kieran's got a great run though after Ascari, and there's nothing that KLF can do. Bit of a wiggle there from Kieran. I think the power of the Merc's going to get this one done. We'll jump back to Fury in a minute because that gap's still 1.5. Kieran though, with the power of the Mercedes, has that done. Let's jump back to Fury. They're in the background. They're coming through Ascari chicane. He's got to get it right through here as Fury then. He's got to get this moment right. If he gets it wrong, it's race gone. BT with a huge slide. A bit of a wiggle, and I don't think that's what he needed. I think this is going to be record-breaking time for Fury. He's going to do it provided he gets round the Parabolica. Phil just in front, currently P7. We've lost another driver. Stealth Sloth has retired, got the race distance done, so he finishes P11 then. And BT hasn't got the run through Parabolica. Fury has got it done though, and provided there's no dramas, he has broken Jamie Brazier's record. It's win number 13 this season for Fury. Record broken, job done. BT Targa with a great second place. Exmar on his own, steady, quiet race for Exmar. He's going to bring it home in third. Let's just cut back to the Fury, to the Kelly Argent battle then. There at the Lesmos, Exmart's just coming through the Parabolica, so we will go back to Exmart in just a moment. Has Argent got that one done? I believe he may have just done so. Yeah, Kelly on the grass now. Oh, big slide there. Let's go back to Exmart. Coming round the Parabolica. Been a quiet race for Exmart, but it's going to be a P3 nonetheless. Well deserved for this man after the stuff that's happened at home and the personal things that's gone off, and it's nice to see Exmart then back on the podium. Daniel Francis off again a little bit there. He's going to come home P10. It looks like Kelly's dropped it once more, so where's Nicky? Where's Nicky? Nicky then at the Parabolica. P4. And it looks like that's the way it's going to finish. Well done, Fury. Record breaker though. But here comes Nicky. A P4 for Nicky then. Good stuff from him. Argent then looks like he's going to take the P5 as KLF has struggled on this last lap. It's just not gone the way he wanted. In fact, KLF could lose out to DJ. He couldn't lose out to DJ Phil, could he, in this last moments of the race? Argent then. Hard race this one for Argent, but he's come back to fight for a P5. Surely Kelly is going to get this P6 wrapped up, although DJ Phil is not a million miles behind then. There is Kelly. And provided he has no mistakes coming out of the exit to Parabolica, it's going to be job done now. P6 for Kelly. He will not qualify for the second race. That'll be that one decided. He's a bit of a weave and a flash for KLF across the line. And that's Kelly P6. And DJ Phil is going to take a P7. Good race for Phil. It's going to be a P8 for his teammate Dean Wasocki in a night where they could beat Ready, Set, Go. And the donuts start here. There's Smithy. He's going to take a P10. Sorry, a P9. And Daniel Francis then with a P10. The Donuts Flyers, it's the last race of the season. Fastest lap of the race goes the way of BT Targa. We're going to be right back in just a few moments with the top three. But it's Fury, BT, X-Mart, Nicky Argent, KLF, DJ Phil, Dean, Smithy, Daniel Francis, Stovsloth, Alfie and NJ retired there. We'll be back in just a moment with the interviews from the top three. And we'll be back with race 2. Guys, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We'll be back with interviews from the top 3, qualifying 2 and race 2, final race this season, in just a moment.
You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars, but the dark gets so lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence. In the dark's all that I see. When your stars are burnt out and your heart makes no sound, I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate. All in when I show up, whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate.
Broken dreams in my pocket. Golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, 'cause you caught it. You caught it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street light at the young, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine, just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. Golden. Laid on the carpet, eye to eye, glistening. No, I saw it. I saw it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street light at the young, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine, just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place.
Welcome back to Simplay Motorsport then. We're back for the final round of the season, round 24 here at Monza, and the rain hasn't let up. In fact, it looks a bit heavier if anything. Top 6 can't qualify from that first race, and I will just run through who that was. Argent Fury, KLF, Nicky, Xmart, BT Target cannot qualify for this second and final race of the season. In terms of the classification, KLF 900 has confirmed himself for second place in the championship, so a massive well done to him. And fight on between BT Target and Xmart for that final third place spot, with Nicky Slable as well to get that one. So the Team Prolapse and Pro Lassie boys in a little fight there, and a good fight mid-table between NJ, DJ Phil, as well as Dean, Smithy and Stelsoff in a little battle at the bottom of the grid. But we've got the top 3 in the top 3 in that first race in with us now. And we're going to start with Xmart. And Xmart, a bit of a quiet race for you out there, but nice to see you back, and nice to see you back on the podium.
Oh, cheers, mate. Yeah, it was a very quiet race. It's just a bit of a lonesome one. I just couldn't keep up with Paul and Fury, but it's just trying to keep it on the grey stuff, mate. That was the thing you had to do, right?
The puddles was just getting worse and worse as the race went on, and was that the thing that was catching you out especially, or?
Yeah. It got worse and worse as the time went on, and specifically in Ascari, you had to really be very ginger coming into it and coming out of it, trying to keep away from where the coming out of it was actually where the main problem was. Literally, your back end would just come out. So, but yeah, just got to be careful, a bit ginger. That's all.
Wet weather sort of staying for the rest of this race, and it seems to be getting worse with the looks of it. A plan of another quiet race like that one from the back of the grid?
Yeah, that's it, mate. Just trying to keep my nose clean and just keep it on the grey stuff. I'm just been talking to Fury there about his downforce. I think I'll be upping my downforce a little bit for the monsoon that's about to approach us.
Well, nice to have you back, mate, and congratulations.
Thank you. I just want to say thanks so much, Matt, for all your support with my daughter last week. It was so lovely for what you said, and the whole Simplay community. Just want to say thank you so much, and she's doing really well. Really pleased with her progress. So thanks so much, mate.
No, welcome anytime, buddy, and it's good to hear that she's doing well.
Thanks, mate.
We've got BT in the commentary box as well, and you just lost it towards the end there. Just couldn't quite get that win and make Fury on the edge of his seat for his record.
Yeah, it was a silly mistake. I knew the puddles were building up there, but I'd noticed that in the background that I'd gained a bit of time on Fury, so obviously I just spoke to him in the chat and he had a bit of an issue. And then going into that last chicane, just that lack of concentration, I took the proper racing line and there was the puddle and it snatched the car round. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Luckily I could get straight back on and fight up to the end with Fury, which I enjoyed all the way through. The only way I could see overtaking him was a pit stop, really, or a mistake from him. Because even though I did have good.
Oh, we've just lost BT Target there. So while we wait for BT to come back, we'll go to Fury then as we await that one. And Fury, record holder, you've done it. It's took you 3 or 4 weeks, but you've done it.
Oh, I tell you what, I had a heart attack as I came out the pits and I seen BT's car just go flying by me. I was like, nah, that's it, race over. But
you had a moment as well coming through the second Lesmo, which nearly put you in the wall. You did so well to keep it from going in that wall. Did you think the race was over then as well? You'd lost that you'd lost that gap to BT. Was it a surprise to see BT off at Ascari?
So I was actually really surprised to see him spinning, because I've raced with BT for a couple months now and I've never really seen him make a mistake ever.
You've got yourself, like you say, you barely see BT making a mistake. You've got yourself that record now. This final race, no championship, no constructors, no record. Is it just go out there and have fun?
Yeah, might as well. Just last race celebration, might as well have some fun.
I suppose as well for yourself, the record of being on the front row for every Q1. What a qualifying performance you've had. Never off the front row in that first qualifying.
I'm gonna be honest, with Xmart and BT being in here, it made it that much harder to be on the front row.
What can you do in race 2, mate?
Hopefully keep it clean, keep it mean, and keep the consistency.
Well, best of luck, buddy.
Cheers, mate.
We've got BT back in the chat, and
sorry about that, man.
No, you're fine. What was you saying?
My boy just signed me out downstairs.
Oh no, you're back in, so that's all good to see. Yeah, what was you saying? Sorry.
Yeah, so just great to, battle with Fury like that, and honestly, there's no way of overtaking him I could see other than the pit stop and either a mistake for him, because going offline is tough, at high speed. But and well done to Kelly for snatching second. That's brilliant. Congrats to him. And great win to Fury, and good third for Xmart. Brilliant.
Yeah, and obviously ProLap's big team themselves. Obviously, I know you're racing under the team ProLap's in here, but ProLap's a big team which Kelly and Fury are all a part of. is it nice to see them boys, as well as part of that whole big team, do well in the championship this year?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It is good. We all get along well, all help each other, and you know, and we love obviously the Simplay Championships, and it's, you know, they're so well run. You know, that's, you know, from yourself, you do a great job, mate.
Cheers,
and yeah, no, just really enjoy it on here, mate. And yeah, it's great to have a good crack with them lot, definitely.
Well, best luck for race 2, mate. We'll let you all get back to it and get ready for that second race.
Cheers, bud.
Cheers, buddy. Cheers, boys. We'll get the top 3 of race 2 in, and we'll get the top 3 of the championship in after race 2 for a quick chat at the end of the season. But great to hear, Liam, that X-Mart's daughter is doing well and recovering well.
Yes, it is. It's always nice to hear when someone's recovering. But yeah.
Now we've got the top 6 who can't qualify in there at the minute. Alfie still to qualify with Smithy and NJ in the pits. It's currently Daniel Francis on pole from NJ, from Dean, from Smithy, Stelsoft, DJ Phil. Alfie yet to do a lap. Where is Alfie on the track, Liam? So we can see when he's going to get a lap in. He's just gone through the first chicane, so that'll hopefully mean that he can get a lap in now, and he'll be able to be up in that top half of the grid. Kelly looks like he's going to start P13 and last in this one then when Alfie gets a time in. So it's going to be tough now for Kelly in this race, isn't it? He's got that second place in the championship. It's going to be tough for him from there.
Yes, it will. And like any driver, is going to look for as many positions as possible. But like from race 1, who knows what's going to happen? And
yeah,
with it possibly getting a bit worse, could spark that fire inside of him to get on podium.
It could indeed. Now Dean looks like he's got some problems sorted as he's managing to get back into that 57s and running at some decent pace, as Alfie then is coming towards the Scary chicane. He's heading down there now and he'll get that lap in. Dean then the next man to settle at with 1 minute 37 left on the clock here. Stelfsloff coming up to sector 1, sorry. Is Dean going to improve this time around? It's been a fantastic night of racing so far in race 1. We hope for the same in race 2. NJ, Phil and Smithy in the pits. They're not going to get another lap in, as Dean then improves half a second. And tell you what, can he just find a little bit more to get himself on the back of NJ here then? Next person to cross the line I think will be Alfie then, to finally set a lap time. It's Daniel Francis currently down on his time now. Does Daniel Francis have a pole position to his name? Yes, he does. He has 3. Could make that number 4. His average qualifying is 6th in Q2. Well, that'll be up because he's on pole at the minute. Alfie's going to set a lap time here, which should at least put him 7th. And it puts him P7. So a bit of room to improve there for Alfie, but still, nonetheless, he's still got a way to go. Fury starts P11 then. So what can he do from that position, Liam? What's he got to do from there to get a race win and maybe extend his all-time wins to 14 in a season?
He just needs to make sure he keeps himself consistent and hope others around him, should I say, make the mistakes.
Here comes Stelfsloff then. Is he going to be up on his time? Currently 4.8 off the back of the pole time at the minute. A second would get him ahead of DJ Phil. 1.5 would get him ahead of Dean Wysocki and onto the third place on the second row, and he finds 2.4. So Dean now needs to find half a second. Daniel Francis will be the last man to set a lap. And this will be it. So this is Daniel Francis's pole time pretty much. As NJ, Smithy and Smithy and DJ Phil, in the pits. Daniel's backed out of that. And that'll be Daniel Francis done. Next man to set a time then will be Dean Wysocki. Can he find that 4/10 over Stelfsloff to gain that extra position? Can Alfie or Stelfsloff get themselves another position? Alfie on a proper run this time around. It's not as much an outlap or anything this time, so he's on a proper lap. Hopefully he's had a good clean one so far. Dean then will complete qualifying now, and what does he do? He doesn't improve on his time, so P4 for Dean at least. Alfie then at the minute can improve. Dean will stay 4th at best. Alfie can improve. Stelfsloff is still out there, so if Alfie improves ahead of Dean, Dean will drop to 5th. Alfie then through the parabolic of the Italian car, the Ferrari, on the home soil. Just on the grass a little bit there for Alfie. He's going to cross the line now, and he goes P3. Oh, so he beats Dean's time there then. So a good lap there from Alfie. Then Stelfsloff Can he get that P3 back? Needs to find a couple of attempts. He's 3/10 down at the minute. So that's not what he needs to find so far. But Smithy will start 7th. DJ Phil will start 8th. Dean Wysocki will start... DJ Phil will start 6th. Dean Wysocki will start P5. And, Stealth Sloth very wide. I think that's going to be 4th place for Stealth Sloth. Wrapped up, then Alfie will start P3. Good qualifying from Alfie. It's going to be NJ then on the front row of the grid with Daniel Francis then, who's going to take a 4th pole of the year. And that'll keep his average at 6th place. The best average qualifier in Q2 is 4th place. Is 6th place, tied with Daniel Francis. Dean Wysocki, Daniel Francis and Smithy all tied at 6th. And Alfie tied at 6th place. Then, so it's Daniel Francis from NJ, Alfie, Stealth Sloth, Dean Wysocki, DJ Phil, then Smithy of those who could qualify. And then it's Team Pro Lassie, BT Targa and X-Mart ahead of Nicky, Fury, Argent and KLF. So Team Pro Lassie, Forever Forward Racing kind of sandwiching each other there, and Team Pro Lassie ahead of the others. But we're going to get going now for the final race of the season. Guys, get your votes in. Get your comments in for who you think's going to win this race. Good evening, Sooty Apex in the chat. Evening to Team Prolapse. Last race pole 2 seasons in a row for Daniel Francis. He took pole at Ruapuna Park in the Acora last season. Of course he did it in the Acora, because why wouldn't you do it in the Acora, I suppose. Sooty Apex, quality car, the Ferrari. Come on, boys. Kelly Tactics, says Daniel Francis. Well done, Fury. And Kelly says Sooty. Never heard of the Ferrari, says Jamie Brazier. It's a red car, normally. It's in the GT3 category. It's in a Formula 1 category. It won a lot of championships with Schumacher and Lauda and a fair few other drivers. Liam, you know the Ferrari, yeah?
Yep, we all know the Ferrari.
You can't not know the Ferrari.
That is the correct answer.
The real question is will Jamie change his Audi for a Mercedes next year? That is the real question.
Well, it's
no.
kind of going to be a have to.
No is the answer. No or. Yeah. No or pick a new teammate sort of thing.
Pretty much.
Jamie Brazier then in the comments. He loves it, does Jamie Brazier. He'll be live with me Friday night for the finale of the GTEs at around Suzuka, or as the game classifies it as Sakito, the famous Japanese circuit. We'll be live there Friday night for the finale of the GTEs, finale of the Pro tomorrow night, and then bit of a month break coming up. We'll be back at the beginning of September, but a few special races, a year of Simplay Motorsport on the 26th of August. Join us for that night. There'll be something else brewing that night, but the revs rise, the lights are on for the final time this season. We're green at Monza and it's go for the Pro-Am Series. NJ tries to cover Alfie up, but Alfie's already got a great start and NJ's already round at the first corner, and I've just lost my breath, and Stealth Sloth has to avoid NJ there after a slow getaway. NJ's still struggling to get away here then, but Daniel Francis leads, and again Smithy has got an absolute crackerjack of a start. Daniel Francis out front has outbraked himself at turn 1. And then Alfie takes second place. Smithy, though, is still side by side with him, and they're going to be challenging Daniel Francis, it looks like. The two Ready, Set, Go McLarens are just behind this battle, and Alfie at the Curva Grande looking up the inside of Daniel Francis, but he cannot get that one done there. Will he tuck back in and get the switch back for the chicane? I don't think he will. Heavy on the brakes again, once again here. Smithy has Dean up the inside, and Dean looking to get the job done on Smithy. Has he done it? Yes, he has. Smithy hits the sausage curve hard, but gets a run on Dean out of the chicane, and I think he's just hit a puddle, which has put end to that. I think it has, but Dean, good manoeuvre at the Curva Grande, and he's off. Ooh. He's off with Smithy, and they're both off in the first Lesmo, and Alfie's got the lead. Liam.
Oh, wow. Bit different to see a Ferrari in front for once.
Yeah, that Ferrari that Jamie Brazier just hasn't heard of leads the race as the puddle under the bridge is already formed, and BT Targa has gone from 8th to 1st at the end, at the halfway through the first lap.
Wow. So
what a start
for him.
Kelly's gone from 13th to 5th, so what a start for Kelly as well. Dean's now down to last place. Will not be happy with that. I didn't quite see what happened, Liam. Did he get a tap?
It looked like Smithy or NJ kind
Smithy.
of outbrake themselves.
Ah, right then. Kelly round the outside of DJ Phil. And he goes very, very deep, as does Fury, who tries to get around the outside of Phil. And Fury's now going to look up the inside of the Parabolica on Kelly. We've, though, cut to the leaders. Cut back now to Fury. And Fury's didn't get that job done. He's now got X-Mark, Nicky, NJ and Argent breathing down the back of him. Phil gets away with one there. And here comes Daniel Francis into turn 1 and 2. And he's really late on the brakes compared to the Ferrari. And doesn't get it stopped. Wow, Liam. Outbreaks himself massively there. Has to give the place back to Alfie. There is Alfie. So Daniel will give Alfie that place back and can resume on his way now. And has to try again as they come round the Curva Grande. And he's got to do it again. And I've just seen a comment from Jamie Brazy. He's on the grass. He's on the gravel. He's on the gravel. Oh. He's in the wall. And it's gone horribly wrong for Daniel Francis here on his 50th race start. What a shame for Daniel. He's had a good first couple of laps. It's gone horribly wrong. And BT Targa then is trying to now get second, now get that race lead as Fury now is up to third. Jamie Brazier made me giggle. That's a sooty sausage curb. And that goes back to season 2 with a bit of testing with Sooty and Gary at Snetterton. He just sort of hit the sausage curb and went, oh no, and flew into the side of Gary. And yeah, fun times at the minute. What you trying to say, Jamie, says Sooty. Look at that Ferrari, says Sooty Apex. Look at it go. It's now a 10th ahead of BT Targa. BT Targa looking at Ascari chicane as Alfie already defends from him. That's NJ who's had a spin, and that's Smithy. Dean was socky as well in the background off. Self-Sloth has to avoid Dean, but we've missed BT Targa get past Alfie. Leading this race is that Mercedes-Benz of BT Targa then, and Fury 2 seconds behind already, but Alfie currently second. Alfie running a good race here, Liam.
Yes, he is. Brilliant place for that Ferrari to be. You know, the car that don't exist, but nonetheless, brilliant race for him so far.
Brilliant race, and this heavier rain seems to be bringing a few more issues for the drivers. Thunderstorms, we're hearing, have been reported around Monza circuit then, but we've got a 16-lap race to get done. We're just about to start the third lap. There's still 22 of you guys here. What a fantastic night. We hope you join us tomorrow night for the Pro Series as X-Mark's trying to get past DJ Phil a bit further behind this battle down the start straight, and I think he's already done him. Look at Argent as well behind, looking to get past. That's KLF, and is he going to look up the inside? No, tucks back in and thinks better of that. Daniel Francis into the pits at the end of lap 2, excuse me.
So maybe having some damage Daniel Francis might have got when he hit that wall with some speed, if you ask me, Matt.
Yeah, he did. He got on the grass, Liam, and just sort of pulled him in, didn't it? Just kind of sucked him into that barrier because, I mean, he touched the grass. Fury there, missing the second chicane, just losing a bit of time there as Alfie looked like he got out of shape. He's not lost too much time to Alfie, and I wonder if Alfie was recovering from a bit of a thing. Thought I needed to give him more, so stayed out the slipstream. Too wide, says Daniel Francis. Yeah, what a shame. A Ferrari exists, says Jamie Brazier, not a Ferrari. A Ferrari exists, not a Ferrari. Well, I don't know which one said that, Jamie. I've got to go, boys, but good luck rest of the race and good luck for the pros tomorrow. Wish I could be there. Sooty obviously at work as Fury is looking to pass Alfie around the outside of the Ascari chicane, and very aggressive around the outside, and Alfie has well saved from Alfie there. Caught a puddle after having a bit of contact with Fury. Well saved from Alfie, and that is X-Mart in the background again, kind of having a quiet race at the moment. Argent has got past KLF, but KLF not having his best of nights in the rain, has dropped to P10. Here comes Fury though, round the outside at the Parabolica. Alfie, can you keep that up the inside and get the job done? They're both so patient. Fury a bit wide, that should allow Alfie to have that manoeuvre done. They're still side by side. In fact, Fury has got past now. Fury has got that one done. So good stuff from Fury. In fact, Alfie's not letting this one go, Liam. Alfie's sticking up that inside. Oh, Sooty called it a Ferrari. There we go then. Fury has, I think, let Alfie get back in front a little bit there and on the brakes. And he can't turn in as there is Alfie. And Alfie having to cut over the chicane, and Fury nearly losing the rear end of that car. Kelly then has dropped to P10 in between Stealth and Smithy. What has happened there? Doesn't look like he's got too much damage on the car, maybe just a spin. Dean though on the back of Stealth Sloth according to the timing screens. Can Dean get a move done? He's not near Stealth Sloth, he's a second off of him, so the timing screen just a little bit out here. But back to Fury, up to the second chicane. X-Mark's gaining on Fury here as Fury again over deep into that second chicane, Liam.
Yeah, so maybe he's struggling with this added rain.
Yeah, the extra rain that's sort of come in. Maybe Fury's struggling as Alfie runs over the curb a little bit there and loses a bit of time to Fury. Now, this is where Fury can gain on Alfie down this straight after the Let's moves. Oh, Alfie's lost it! He's had a huge spin there and clouched the wall, and poor old Alfie then driving a good race and just got a bit too hot into the second Lesmo and loses the car there. But here comes Fury and Xmart then, second and third. DJ Phil having a cracking stop, P4 at the moment.
Brilliant race from him, so one of the McLarens.
Oh, look at behind. Argent, Nicky and Alfie there, and I think NJ on the back of these as well. He is. NJ's on the back of Argent. Alfie's then behind Nicky and Argent. Look at the lines through the Ascari chicane. Alfie then really trying to get back ahead of Nicky there, trying to get himself back in front. And he's got that. Oh, do you see the lightning there, Liam? Look at the rain, and there was lightning there. The thunder is rolling in. The storms are here. And is Kelly going to drive like a storm and get up to the front of this grid? Fury 7 seconds to BT Targa. Xmart on the back of Fury. Fury just wants to visit Sutty on the inside of the chicane, says Jamie Brazier. Phil running a good race here. The McLaren in these conditions and the Ferrari can be at their best. These conditions chuck the pace out the window, and it's all about how you handle it. Dean's got past Sloth then. He's now looking to pass Kelly. He's the next target for him is Argent. Looking up the inside of Alfie. Can't get that one done. And NJ on the brakes. Oh, a bit slidey into turn one from NJ there. Running in a good 8th place at the moment.
Yep, so yet again, another race for a good... no, got those wrong. Another good race for a driver.
Now, NJ obviously will want to get to the end of this one. Has there been a car spin? Sounds like there's a car lost it. DJ Phil at the chicane. I thought I heard a car sound like he'd lose it. NJ's had to go over the chicane there. He'll have to get that place back to Argent then. As Argent lost out there through NJ cutting the chicane. DJ Phil had span, so he'll have to get the place back to Argent at least. But at the minute, NJ now running P5. And he has given the place. Oh, that's why he's given the place back to Argent. He's had a spin. He's also lost out to Phil. So he did give the place back to Argent. Not the way he maybe would have wanted to. He's done it with a spin now then. But we're on the pit window lap. So the pit window opens at the end of this one. When are we going to see drivers coming? But the rain, Liam, is getting worse. BT Targa slowly extending that gap to Fury out front. Was 2 seconds quicker last time around. But that battle between Alfie, Argent, Nicky and DJ Phil is hotting up.
Yes, it is. It's a big battle, should I say, for 4th, because you've got to chuck Nicky in there as well, which isn't that far up the road from these guys.
And NJ's lost it again coming through the Ascari chicane. He's lost out to KLF and to Smithy then, as he's lost it through Ascari. The rain is getting heavier here. And these guys are really having to work hard for this one. As Alfie then, Liam, coming into the pits.
So the first official... pit stop then.
Yeah. I reckon the drivers have got a pair of flippers and a snorkel in the car with these weather conditions, says Jamie Brazier. You wouldn't be far wrong. Like water off a duck's back. These guys are going to be wanting to get the job done. Kelly as well, taking early advantage of the early pit stop. I think I used the water off the duck's back comment wrong there. I think I used it in the wrong context. But I mean, yeah. Kelly then into the pits as well. Dean gets past Alfie and KLF. Where will these two feed out now? Doing the undercut. Where are these two going to come out here, Liam? What do we reckon their chances are in this race?
Oh, it's hard to say, to be fair.
Oh, Stove Sloth's in as well. Sloth just being held a little bit. Daniel Francis currently not quite a lap down yet, but he has already pitted as well. And look at these conditions. Let's just go on board on the roof camera, someone. Let's go on board someone here. Look at the track conditions here. They are soaking wet through.
But
I don't know if we're in Italy or Scotland here. The track is absolutely drenched. It's wetter than a rainy day in October here at Monza. This is the middle of summer, if you wouldn't believe it. And look at how bad, how cautious he had to be through Ascari there, Liam. It was terrible through there then. Dean then ahead of Alfie, hasn't yet pitted. Will Dean react to the pit stops of Alfie, KLF and Stovsloff, who lost out to Daniel Francis there after his pit stop? We'll have to wait to see what Dean does. He's got a 3-second gap to Alfie. Phil then's 11 seconds in front of Dean as well, and Smithy has got himself ahead of Phil and up into 6th place. Smithy looking quite good value for his money here. Has BT made a mistake, says Fury's Grandad in the chat? Well, good question, because the gap's down to 3 seconds as Alfie then has lost it at the end of the Ascari chicane, and although BT doesn't look like he's got damage, I reckon he could have made a mistake, because that gap has been cut short. 2:02 last lap compared to a 57 and a 58 for Fury and Exmart. I would suggest that BT has made a mistake. DJ Phil into the pits at the end of lap 6, so that puts Dean Wysocki not being able to pit this time around at bay, and he stays out on track and will pass his teammate for the final time tonight. 2 seasons together, and they're no longer together. Disco in the chat, yeah, that's normal for up here. Obviously Disco being from Scotland himself, so interesting to see that one. As we see Argent now coming around the first of the 2 Lesmos, and he's trying to get on the back of that is, where is Argent? That's Nicky then, as Alfie has lost out to KLF 900. There's Argent then on the back of Nicky here. Look at that puddle just forming on the inside of the circuit there, Liam. You can just start to see them a bit more in this race, can't you? That they're just starting to form. The puddles under the bridge are the bigger puddles to worry about, but Ascari chicane as well. Nicky and Argent, just look at how patient they are being. As we say hey to Sarah in the chat, nice to see a newcomer in as well. This is prime British summertime weather, says Jamie Brazier. Prime weather for April showers, but I mean this is a bit more than a shower. This is when you've had that good long 3 days of sunshine and then it decides to tip it down and have a thunderstorm. That's what we've got at the minute. As Argent come towards the Parabolica, looking up the inside, can't get the job done. We sunbathe him worse, says Disco Face in the chat. Yeah, they're out there sunbathing in the snow up in Scotland. Shades on and a pair of swimming trunks on and go for a swim and whatnot up there, but we see Argent here, half a second behind Nicky, and trying to get in that slipstream, trying to get past Nicky here. Down the start straight they come, and the power of the Mercedes, Liam, doesn't seem to have that advantage, have that edge around this circuit in these wet conditions.
No, it don't, but it's just like Daytona, where we all thought that, I mean, we're all guilty of it, that the Mercedes was going to dominate, and to a matter of fact, the Porsche did.
Yeah, now has Fury and Exmart made a mistake, because they did a 2:01 and a 2-minute lap last time round, and BT's extended that gap. Disco, welcome to the stream, Sarah, and come on Kelly, I'm watching for you, says Bethany Ann Duffin, and well, she won't even watch Gary on a Thursday anymore, so Kelly ought to feel special, and that's Fury! That's why we've had Fury off. Now, we've lost 2 drivers in this as well. We've lost Stelf from the final race of the season. He has retired, and I do believe so is Alfie. Yes, Alfie's retired as well. So Alfie and Stelf do not complete the season then. They are both retired.
Oh, there's NJ as well with no rear wing.
Yeah, NJ struggling in the wet as well, so he'll have to go back into the pits for that one. But Team Cool Runnings both need to finish here, because Ready, Set, Go are in for the points here and could overtake them in that Constructors' title. That is Argent off in the background, I think. Argent? No, it wasn't Argent. So was it Fury? No, I think it was Fury.
Yeah,
it was definitely Fury. He was off at the Ascari chicane. The Merc seems to have the best rudder in the rain, says Jamie Brazier. Well, this race is swinging towards BT Targa, but I tell you what, any of these guys further down the field could get themselves on the podium in a minute. NJ back into the pits. He has already pitted then. BT, Dean, Exmart, Nicky, Argent, Fury, NJ and Smithy still to pit. If I was Dean, I'd be getting myself in the pits, and Smithy be getting myself in the pits, because it's a chance here. Well, Dean's going to have to pit. As I look at the screen, look at the state of that McLaren. Wow. Just as Dean and Smithy could have had a chance here to score some big points, maybe a podium, that's gone because the top runners are starting to struggle, but so's Dean. So then, where is Argent? He can't pit. Where's Smithy? Is Smithy going to bring himself in this lap? I mean, if I was Smithy, I'd take the opportunity to get the pit stop out of the way halfway through the race. Look at the conditions. He's going to dive in now. Oh, he can't. Is NJ done? Is NJ done? No! Oh, disaster for the Team Cool Runnings crew. Disaster strikes. Smithy has to pit again. Oh no, NJ is in the pits for the first time. Apologies, NJ in the chat. That is a Team Prolapse car of Nicky getting out of shape. But Smithy's got to pit again. Quick downshift and fling it in, says Disco Bit Disco Face. Dean then is into the pits as well. But Smithy will have to pit again. He's pretty much just done a drive through there. What a shame. I mean, he's not going to lose too much time because the cars behind are still struggling. Kelly's only just past Dean. X-Mart now into second. Team Prolassi 1-2. Dean's away. Has Dean repaired his damage?
I don't think he has.
I don't think Dean's done his damage. Oh, wow, what a mistake. What a rookie mistake from Dean Wysocki there. I don't think he's repaired his damage. The lightning strikes again, and the lightning is not striking for Dean Wysocki. They're not like London buses. It's not striking twice. But I tell you what might. BT Targa taking another race win at Simplay Motorsport. He's about to lap Phil. He is the only man lapping under 2 minutes then. He is flying. Phil down in P10 at the moment. Daniel Francis has got past Dean. This is a chance for Daniel and Kelly here to do something in this race and get up the order. There is Kelly. Has Smithy 6 seconds up the road. Has Daniel just behind him. There you see. Oh, that's Smithy round. Smithy's lost it. That is at the first of the 2 Lesmos here. What lap are we on, says Bethany Ann Duffin. We're on lap 10. And X-Mart is into the pits then. I thought X-Mart had pitted. He hasn't. Oh, Kelly! Round at the second Lesmo. Nicky's in the pits as well at the end of lap 9. And Kelly round, losing out to Daniel Francis here then. The track is getting wetter and wetter by the minute, Liam.
Yes, it is. And it's kind of showing that Zoo High vibes, if you ask me, as well, with these puddles being absolutely self-destructive.
Treacherous. 10 Beth says Disco McDisco Face. He also says, thank the baby Jeebus. We don't have this madness tomorrow night. The weather can change. Baby Jeebus can change the weather. As Archie comes in for his pit stop then. And hey, if it's like this tomorrow, that is going to be an interesting one. Dean then has got to pit again. Forgotten to repair the damage. He has got to do it again. Now, Smithy still to pit. BT Targa still to pit. Here is the race leader. Just look at how he's cautious on the power coming through the chicane there. He's so cautious.
Yes, indeed he is.
We're on lap 10 then of 16. We're coming to the end of this one. And what a season it's been in the Pro-Am, Liam. What a race. What a couple of races we've had tonight as well. It's been fantastic at the moment.
Yes, it has, and it's nice to end. Well, I mean, I would say it's nice to end the season on a good race.
Sorry, Liam, we've got a car stopped towards the left-hand side down here. No, must have just been me. Must be someone coming out the pit lane. There's another strike of sunshine there. Thanks, says Beth. Nope, Sonny is banked in. I heard it through the grapevine, says BT Target. Dean is in now. Did Dean flick the button that says turn the damage on to repair? Well, let's wait and see. BT and Smithy still to pit. Smithy then is up to P5 at the moment, and yeah, he's got it this time. Look,
so maybe. Ooh, it's a bit of a hard one. I mean, if I was in the chair he's in at the moment, I would be going crazy for that little mistake that happened.
And the thing is that's your mistake to make, isn't it? Just as simple as flicking the damage on or off. That is your mistake to make. So Dean can't blame anyone other than himself for that little mistake, just for not switching the damage on. Kelly on the back of Daniel Francis here. I love these conditions, says on Orthodubs. And Dan pretty much is it. You have to take it to Dan. He is very good in the wet conditions. We'll see if it's wet tomorrow night. And look at Kelly and Daniel. They're just hitting the puddle. Now, ready, set, go versus Team Cool Runnings here for that constructor's final place of P4. There is 5 points separating him, and Smithy doing the job he needs to at the minute. As DJ Phil's got past Argent. Has Argent made a mistake?
Oh,
he must have done. He must have gone wide or something, because DJ Phil got past him. Oh, and look at that puddle just slinging these cars about. Phil going defensive and not. So ready, set, go need to outscore Team Cool Runnings by 5 points here to... Oh, Phil! Round he goes, all on his own.
Oh, and Kieran.
Oh, Kieran's lost it as well, so Phil will get that back. Smithy then pits at the end of lap 10, and with them two spinning, that could keep Smithy in a decent position here. Needs a good pit stop. Team Cool Runnings need to keep going, need to outscore. Ready, set, go. That's Dean and Phil by 5 points. Kieran still hasn't got going from the Ascari chicane. Where's Smithy in terms of the pit lane? Not going yet. Disco, I love the challenge, Dan, but think we've had enough wet races this year already. I wanted wet conditions for tomorrow earlier in the week. I don't anymore, says Jamie Brazier. Smithy may lose out to DJ Phil here, but I think we'll have Argent covered off. Now, if he can get past DJ Phil in the race, yeah, there goes Phil, look. Smithy just coming out the pit lane. For these boys here, game on, ready, set, go versus Team Cool Runnings in that constructor's place, but not just that. Smithy can finish ahead of Dean as long as he outscores Dean, as Smithy just crosses the pit exit line there. A bit naughty, that.
Oh.
But DJ Phil, can he get himself ahead of NJ? He only needs to finish ahead of NJ by 2 points to get that job done, so Smithy can be helping his teammate out here. Can Smithy stay ahead of Dean? That one looks certain at the minute. Stelfstoff's tired, so he's not going to get to finish ahead of Dean Wisocki. More importantly, can Ready, Set, Go outscore Team Cool Runnings by 5 points to tie with them? 6 points if they outscore them by. They'll beat Team Cool Runnings. Team Cool Runnings just need to make sure that doesn't happen. Going back to the chat, yes, wet for pro boys, come on, this could be fun. Well, it just depends on what the weather forecast says at the minute, but it looks right. We're on lap 12, BT Targa 46 seconds ahead of Fury. He's got bags of time in hand at the minute. KLF trying to gain on the back of on the back of Daniel Francis, sorry. Look at how BT Targa is struggling there as well through a Ascari chicane, Liam.
Yes, he is. Looked like his backhand went a little bit, which would have been obviously from the put-up. But
now,
when we were speaking... Oh,
sorry to cut you off. Smithy's got past DJ Phil. Let's just cut back to that a second, because that is huge for the constructors fight. There's Smithy, then across Ascari after getting it wrong. Phil has span. NJ a lap down a span. NJ needs to get to the end of this race, because as it stands, Team Cool Runnings will score fourth and will beat the Ready, Set, Go boys, but Phil needs to catch their back of Smithy. Dean needs to get his foot down and get on the back of these pack. He's beating NJ. NJ just needs to score points and hope that Dean makes a few more mistakes to catch Dean. But for Smithy at the minute, is he going to bring fourth place for the Team Cool Runnings boys by finishing in 7th? KLF then backs onto him and Daniel Francis as KLF is getting closer and closer, but he's going to be lapped soon by BT Targa. What was you saying, Liam? Apologies.
I actually generally can't remember.
That's fine. That's fine. As we're coming to the end of this one then, lap 13 of 16, like we say, join us tomorrow night for more action. Join us Friday night as well for some GT, the finale of the Pro and the finale of the GT tomorrow night then. 23 people still watching, guys, 27 likes. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, let's do so now. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. What a mega effort this has been for the final race here. Let's keep this up for tomorrow and Friday as well. But Daniel Francis and Kelly, 3 seconds separates that gap. DJ Phil, though, has got back ahead of Smithy, so Smithy will need to get that one back done on DJ Phil, Liam. But I think I don't think that Ready, Set, Go are going to score enough to outdo. DJ Phil's off. Huge slide. Huge shunt into the wall. Smithy around the outside avoids him. Now, if that's a pit stop for Phil, that could be a long one. Phil's on lap 12. Let's go to NJ. NJ's on lap 11, so if NJ can unlap himself here, and Phil's got a lengthy pit stop again, NJ could get himself on the back of DJ Phil, and if Argent gets past Phil, that's more points that Ready, Set, Go are losing in terms of Team Cool Runnings. KLF has lost another fair few seconds to Daniel Francis, so I think that one may be done, but Nicky's on the back of Xmart here, and look at the puddle under the bridge, sending drivers all over the place, and Big Boy Brazier, DJ Phil has got some bad damage, and a span again!
Oh!
He's in the wall again. I think Smithy's span. Argent's had a Ascari is becoming treacherous. Smithy just needs to keep this one going here, and NJ now is ahead of DJ Phil. If he can he's unlapped himself from Phil. If he can get around, if Phil's got to pit again,
NJ could be on the back of Phil then, and that could spell disaster in terms of the Drivers' Championship for NJ. Could keep himself ahead of Phil, but not only that, for the Ready, Set, Go boys to get them points in the bag. Smithy a bit wide at the final corner. Argent, doesn't matter in this one. Smithy can let Argent go. He's just got to outscore the McLaren boys as Argent and DJ Phil battling then. NJ dropped off the back of Smithy to let Smithy go. He's got 25 seconds to start us off. Nicky's on the back of X-Mart as well here, Liam. Look at this battle.
Battles happening all over the place at the moment.
It is. Jamie Brazier wasn't saying... hang on. Naughty, I've done more testing in this than in the dry. Did a 155 in the thunderstorms. How? Would nullify a portion of the power for some cars. Good for the Beamer, I guess. I won't be gutted if it is wet. The Beamer is good in the wet. Next joke, please. I've not been terrible in it of late, Jamie. Wasn't saying you, but watch Season 1 Pro Monza and how bad the BMW struggled. Think that might have been a cause of the nut behind the wheel. It was Mazda. That's my point. As NJ, what has happened to NJ? And he's had a bit of a spin somewhere and has lost his rear wing and the bonnet, so he's going to have huge damage till the end of this race. Keeps out of Fury's way. Oh, and off he goes. Smithy's off. Phil's back ahead of Smithy. It's getting worse, and Phil's back ahead of Smithy. Enzo unlaps himself. Argent's had a spin.
Wow.
Well, Phil now has two cars between himself and Smithy. Is this going the way of Ready, Set, Go? Phil's also got no rear wing. BT Target in the pits. Wow, what a dramatic end to this race. This track is soaking wet through. I can't believe this, Liam. This is crazy.
It is crazy indeed, and it's... Wow, what a dramatic end to the season. That's all I'm going to say.
Indeed. NJ then, what is he going to do? Can Dean get on the back of Smithy and Phil? Because I tell you what, Ready, Set, Go could take fourth place in the Constructors. Dean, though, oh, he's got huge damage. Smithy, I don't think has that bad a damage compared to NJ. Dean's got no front end of the car. X-Mart's lost the car. Is that going to allow Nicky through? It has allowed Nicky through, so Nicky's now third. Smithy is going to get past Phil, and the ebbing and flowing of this race is allowing Ready, Set, Go to possibly lose. Oh, and that's NJ and Nicky. They're round and round and round, and I don't know if they collected each other or if they just hit a puddle off of line, but they both span there. I'll watch back on the replay. But that's put X-Mart back into third place. Phil's lost out to Smithy again here. And I tell you what, the ebbing and flowing, stay away from the puddles. This is crazy driving at the minute. But have Team Cool Runnings now got P4 in this Constructors' Championship. Now they're ahead of DJ, Phil and Dean. Argent's not in the middle to worry about. It's all about keeping it on the track. BT Targa's on lap 15 of 16. Argent has Smithy closing in on the back of him here.
Here we go.
Argent has struggled as of late. I know the feeling Disco and AH was driving a BMW and Keegs was driving a BMW as well. It says James Hurst having their BMW discussion, but here's Smithy. Daniel Francis says, hell, he's not enjoying this. Has Argent just made a mistake? No, it was the sound of the engine just going a bit quiet as he's not putting the power down here then. I tell you what, this race, Liam, has been crazy. Absolutely crazy.
This race has had everything from crashes to overtakes to just playing.
Just spinning out. Yeah, just dizziness. And, yeah.
And this is all you would want to see as a motorsport fan as well.
Oh, Smithy just trying to keep it all together through Ascari and does so, as does Kieran Argent. I tell you what, my heart is racing here. You just don't know when the next car's going to spin. You're sort of keeping your eyes out for it. Where's BT Targa at the minute? He's coming down the start straight, so he's starting the last lap. So let's load the track map up, Liam, so we can keep our eyes on BT Targa then. As Stelsloff disconnects from the final race of the season, as did Alfie. And there's a battle between two cars. I think that's Argent and Smithy still close together at the final part of the track. There's Smithy, there's Argent. One mistake for Argent and Smithy's right past him. Get your votes in then. We're on the final lap. Get your votes in for driver of the day, but more importantly, get your votes in for driver of the season. We'll get both mine and Liam's at the end of this one for both driver of the day and driver of the season. But at the minute, it's hard to look past a couple of people at the minute, but Smithy so far trying to get on the back of Argent, trying to make sure that final couple of places is his. As we go to BT Targa now, I think he's just coming through the Lesmos. Yeah, he is, so we'll keep an eye back on him. We'll go back to Argent and Smithy for the time being. Oh, Smithy's round. Yeah, that ends that one. That has ended that. Can he keep it ahead of DJ Phil will be the question. Yes, he can, because DJ Phil's only coming down the start straight. And I tell you what, Phil could lose out to Dean Wasaki here at the moment. I mean, Phil, 2 seasons in a row, has outscored his teammate.
Oh.
But BT Target, where is he? He's coming down the back straight now. That is a Porsche, Team Prolux Porsche, with possibly KLF in front of him. BT Targa has dominated this second race, Liam. You cannot say more than that. He has been the dominant force.
Yes, he has, and hats off to him for that.
Yeah. And it looks like we've got a good theme going on driver of the day and driver of the season. Oh no, sorry. Different vote there. So BT Targa has won the race. Sorry, apologies. Was just checking the stream, the chat there. So BT Targa wins the race. Fury with no rear wing. Is he going to be able to hold on to second here from Xmart? I think he will. Yes. So let's go to Fury then, your Pro-Am champion. And he's going to cross the line with his teammate behind him, the Forever Forward Constructors champions as well for Pro-Am. Ooh. And they just crossed the line together there. So Fury will get second. Argent will take 7th place. Xmart looks like he's going to get a set of 3rd here. Not a bad return for Xmart. It's going to be Nicky then to take a P4. What could have been for Nicky in this one tonight? But a good set of 4th places for Nicky. Daniel Francis then looks like he's going to take P5 as Argent's finished a lap down and stops at the end of the track. Smithy then's going to come round for P8. Decent night for Smithy, decent night. They wait now for the constructors' points. And Dean has got himself ahead of DJ Phil then. So are them two finished? No, Dean's not yet finished. Phil is struggling here. So DJ Phil, Dean will get 7th. Can Phil lose out to NJ? No. So 9th for Dean, 10th for DJ Phil, 11th for NJ. 5th for Daniel Francis. As we await final lap then, the constructors table. Let me just work this one out quickly while the points are in. Team Cool Runnings outdo Ready Set Go by 5 points. DJ Phil not yet finished. Dean Wasaki crosses the line to end his season. Again, another year where he's just fell down the table a bit more for Dean, as a few donuts are happening at the end. Here comes Kelly, not the night he'd have wanted, but we'll get the top 3 of the championship in the chats. We'll get Fury, Kelly and BT Targa in. We'll also get BT Targa, Fury and Xmart in. We'll chat with the race before we chat with the drivers. NJ stays ahead of DJ Phil Green in the championship. Smithy stays ahead of Dean Wasaki in the title fight. Nicky outdoes Argent. BT Targa gets himself 3rd. Team Pro Lassie only lost by 3 points to Team Pro Laps here then. But just looking in the chat as well. Yeah, so while Liam gets them in, special mention to Xmart for them 2 podiums for Fury's Grandad. Yes, indeed. Love a drive-through for no reason, says Smithy. Yeah, unfortunately, that one obviously couldn't pit, but I mean, still hung on for a good points finish nonetheless, Smith. And hey, you got my moment of the season as well. Joint driver of the day, Xmart. Liam, your driver of the day and your driver of the season. In fact, actually, sorry. First of all, fastest lap of the race goes to Fury. So that's an extra point to his illustrious record this season. Sorry, Liam, driver of the day and then driver of the season.
So I'm going to start with driver of the day, which is BT Targa, because I think he's done an absolute stellar job. Not only in that second race, but unfortunate to his demise in the first race. He was on some very quick pace. Driver of the season, though, I'm going to have to give to Fury for purely winning the season and beating Jamie Brazy's record.
Yeah, indeed. My driver of the day goes the way of BT Targa as well. He's been so good tonight. Been absolutely brilliant. My driver of the season, though, is going to go the way of Kelly, who has 2 votes at the minute. Fury came from the Pro, so I kind of expected Fury up there. Kelly has been brilliant all season, though. We are joined by X-Mart, who's just jumped into the commentary box. And, Mark, that one was a bit more adventurous.
Yeah, mate, it was trying to fight my way through from the back right the way through. It was quite interesting to see. I just took my time at the beginning and then eventually found myself back into third and had a little bit of a few spins and had a little bit of a tussle and some fun with Nicky. But yeah, it was all right, mate. I'm all right. I'm happy with third, bud.
2 third places on your return. Like you say, great news about your daughter as well. Good return for yourself.
Yeah, I'm really happy about it. It's so good to be back, to get back into normality in life, considering all I had to deal with last week. And before I sign off and pass over to the other players, drivers, massive congrats to Fury, massive congrats to my mate Kelly, to get second place, and a huge congrats to my teammate BT for getting first place and third place in the championship. And he's a lovely fella, such a lovely fella. Just want to make a comment, actually. I think there was a bit of nasty driving going on by NJ. I'm going to call that out. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to call out names, but literally pulled into Nicky about 2 laps from the end. That should be looked at, mate, and Nicky's going to get the evidence for it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That is jotted down as well. Well done tonight, mate. Brilliant to see that one, and a great drive this season. We hope to see you back on the grid next year. Or next season,
Definitely will be there, mate.
Brilliant, great one. Fury, second place in that one. You just didn't have it compared to BT Targa in that final race, but a second nonetheless, and ending the season on the podium.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I will agree with X-Mark. There was some pretty bad driving tonight from some people. I got pushed off a track, side slam, you name it. I basically got put through it. But I'm happy with a second nonetheless. I'm taking the 13 race wins.
Yeah, 13 race wins and won the title by 178 points. That's not bad going, is it?
No, I'm quite proud of that, to be honest.
We hope to see, obviously, you'll be back in the Pro next year. That's one's a given. Joint driver of the season with Kelly for driver of the season. So it's not a bad achievement from the fans and from the commentators as well.
Nah, it's pretty good. I mean, Kelly was really good this season, especially to get where he is in the championship. He kept it consistent, kept it, going as best as he could. It's just a shame I couldn't really battle him this season.
Well, we hope to see you in the Pro next year, mate, and it'll be good to see you back up with the big boys and hopefully competing up there.
Yep, I'll be there next season, don't worry.
Cheers, buddy. BT, driver of the day for tonight. Fantastic performance from yourself. Unlike X-Mart in the first race, who had a kind of lonely one. That one for you was pretty lonely.
Yeah, it was a little bit lonely, but it was tense though. The conditions were worsening so bad every lap, and the last 5 laps they were difficult to keep the car. I lost it a few times in that last few laps. So that's got to be one of the most difficult conditions I've ever driven on that track. But enjoyable. But yeah, really pleased with the performance, and congrats to Fury again on the championship in second, and well done to X-Mart, my partner, and partner next season too. So yeah, really looking forward to it. And even though I joined this a bit late, the season, I've really enjoyed it. It's been brilliant.
I was going to say, you joined a bit late. You've come third in the championship. Team Prolassi 3 points behind Team Prolapse in the constructors.
Wow.
You and X-Mart have had a real good charge. I know you both kind of joined late. You've both missed the odd race here and there, but a real good charge for third in both your drivers for yourself and constructors for the team.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic, really. We worked well together. I think my double points worked out brilliant for me. Like, that was my best call that I made, I think. And but yeah, just enjoyed it all round, and well done to Kelly and Nicky. They've done brilliant. They're second. That's superb.
Well done, mate.
Stuff.
We look forward to seeing you on the grid next year, and hopefully we can bring some more entertaining racing. And we've got Kelly in as well.
Oh, yeah.
Top 3 in the championship. Second place, Kelly. Driver of the season, joint with Fury for driver of the season. what a season you've had.
Absolutely awesome, Matt. I'm absolutely over the moon to get the result that I've got. All things being equal, I would have loved to have gone a bit more wheel to wheel with Fury throughout the season, but he was just too quick. And to be fair, BT and Xmark were so incredibly quick as well. For me, it was a good start to the season, and then it was just damage limitation all the way through. Tonight particularly, I will just echo what the other drivers said. Some very, very poor driving standards, and not just the wet, just bad driving from a few people tonight, which was a shame. For me, Monza, I'd like to forget it, really. I've made more spins in this round than I think I did all season, and all the time I've been driving my whole life. I seem to be always going round and round. Horrendous conditions out there. So, yeah, really tough. Really tough.
Yeah, it's been a season of ups and downs for yourself. A couple of wins, fair few podiums. You can end it on a high note, though, knowing that you did achieve that second place. No matter the results tonight, you achieved that second place and got the work done, like you said early on. Back for next year, obviously the restructure. We're going to now have a chat between ourselves whether what's going to happen with that restructure with yourself finishing second. But no matter what, are you looking forward to next season?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I've thoroughly enjoyed racing. There's been ups and downs, but you know, this is the kind of stuff that makes it all worthwhile. Do you know what I mean? You know, if you just kind of go into the general lobbies and race, it all gets a little bit stale after a while. You know, it's something to shoot for. It's something to practice. And you know, I've met some great people already, and you know, made some great friendships, and you know, all due to racing in a league as good a quality as Simplay is.
Well, brilliant having you. Liam, brilliant commentating with yourself all season. Any final words from yourself?
My only final words are, come on next season. I just can't wait for it already.
Bossy boy for the win tomorrow night.
It's going to be an interesting night tomorrow night and Friday night. It's going to be brilliant next season. I cannot wait to get back in the commentary box with Liam. I cannot wait to get back in the commentary box full stop next season. Thank you to all the kind messages for the top commentary for me and Liam and Kelly as well for this season, especially Daniel Francis. Nice note there as well. Sweet stick in your box tomorrow night. We'll be live 8 p.m. for Monza, in which the weather flips and it's beautiful sunshine, and it wouldn't look like it's rained at all for the pro guys. They've got it so easy, haven't they? They've got it so easy. We'll be live as well Friday night for the final round of the GTs at Sakito Suzuka, as we all know it as. But from all of us here at Simplay Motorsport, until tomorrow night, take care. Good night.
Good night.